First of all, Ernest, I would like to start off by giving a shout out to FYF Sports Debates Podcast. I really love that podcast. I really do.
Beat money.
Anthony, if that's your criteria, maybe you value the team accolades more than individual. I consider the winning. I consider the championships, but if there was a pecking order, and I'm going to go over some of the criteria that I use. If there was a pecking order to criteria, winning's at the bottom of that criteria. You cannot judge players on winning and losing. Players don't have as much of an impact on winning and losing as you guys try to lead people to believe. A bad coach, a bad owner, an injury here or there can dictate if you win or not. We got Tasha O'Neill says, dude, you fan out obsessed with these rich athletes. So why'd you click on the link where we're talking about rich athletes? How is a video on rich NBA athletes even in your algorithm? If we the ones that's fanned out, what are you searching on YouTube to where this video pops up into your algorithm? But we fanned out. Maybe it's because we're not pushing the narrative that you like to hear. Hold on one second, y'all. Let me fix my audio real quick. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. All right, we good. We back up and going. Salute to everybody. We got George the Truth Hurts in the chat. He says, talk about what the hell is going on in Memphis. Why the hell would I care is going on in Memphis, George? The coach got fired. Something shady went on behind the scenes. Everything right now is just rumor and innuendo. I don't know what the hell going on. I don't know why the hell you fire a coach that's brought your team from oblivion. What do you want me to do? Sit up here and speculate for 3 hours? I'm going to wait till the reports come out. I'm going to wait till people actually come out and tell us why he was fired. There's probably going to be some type of back end story, and then we'll discuss that. But at the end of the day, what the hell do you want me to talk about? And do I care if Ja Morant got his coach fired? No. Players been getting coaches fired since basketball started. Magic got his coach fired. Nobody cared. At the end of the day, why would I care? The player don't want the coach there. This is a players' league. Coach got to go. What do y'all want me to talk about a coach getting fired for? The coach was fired. Let's see how they do. I'm just waiting. The only reason I haven't talked about it, y'all, is because I'm just waiting for reports to come out as to what particularly happened. Everything right now is rumor. Do I believe Ja Morant got his coach fired? No. These firings like this are not because of players. There's no player in the NBA that can get a coach fired less than 20 games away from the playoffs, and you're sitting there 4th or 5th in the West. This is some inner workings from the inside. You want me to talk about that? Every time I talk about the inner workings of these teams, y'all get mad. And that goes hand in hand with what somebody just said. Somebody just commented Oh, he only got one championship. Well, with coaches getting fired, with these owners and these GMs that will do anything, you never know what the hell they're going to do. Who are we to judge these players? We can only judge them based off what they do individually. At least that's my criteria. I'm not going to knock anybody if it's your criteria to judge off championships, but I believe that if you are running around judging players based on championships, you're doing it intentionally to take away from a player that you don't like. And you're doing it intentionally to prop up somebody that you do like. Because there's only one way you run with championships. Because and the funniest thing to me is that all the people that say it's about winning championships, none of them have Bill Russell as they go. So at the end of the day, don't come to me talking about your criteria is championships and you need this many championships to be considered. If Bill Russell is not your GOAT, I don't want to hear that conversation. And we all know that most of y'all don't have Bill Russell as the GOAT. Because the first thing you say when we talk about Bill Russell is you talk about his individual play, his points per game, what he did as an individual. He says, Deshaun, we've seen Coach of the Year coaches get fired with winning records. Well, look, man, at the end of the day, coaches get fired. Why? We don't always know. We can only judge the organization based on who they replace that coach with and if that coach does a better job. Golden State fired Mark Jackson. I thought Mark Jackson was doing a hell of a job. They brought Steve Curry in. Well, he was much better. Y'all always talk about these players getting y'all because y'all so hyper-focused on these players that y'all willing to run to any narrative just to blame something on the players. Oh, Ja got the coach fired. How stupid does that sound? Ja didn't get no coach fired. The coach got himself fired. Come on, man. Y'all be so thirsty. Y'all never put any pressure on these GMs. Y'all never apply any pressure to these or owners. You always want to blame the player. Players don't write checks the last time I checked. They don't sign anybody's check. They don't make any direct deposits. They don't do none of that. Put the blame where it belongs. And when these teams make dumb decisions, go blame the team. Y'all just be wanting to blame players for everything. Y'all blame players for load managing. How many times over the last 2 years have we heard people say all these guys do today is load manage? You got Zion Williamson going to the media basically begging to play, basically telling the world, look, it's the team. It's not even me. CJ McCollum, Damian Lillard, all these guys is literally telling y'all with their own, look, man, we don't want to sit games. If the team tell us we got to sit, well, ain't nothing we can do. But y'all still don't want to listen. So we just got too much stupidity floating around, man. Tyson says, yeah, only speculation, but that seems like a front office beef unless he did something crazy. I mean, at the end of the day, if you get fired at this time of the year, it's definitely some type of front office issue. Now, the only person I've heard make a sound, legitimate argument as to why he might have got fired, it was on Gil's Arena with Gilbert Arenas and them. And they basically said, look, you got Jaren Jackson very, very close to being Supermax eligible. Sit his ass. Don't play him. Do something so he ain't award eligible or he don't win another award. But if you keep playing him, you allow him to win an award, he's Supermax eligible. We got to pay this fool $300 million, and he ain't worth no $300 million. Those are the types of rifts and issues behind the scenes that will get a coach fired, especially with the timing that we saw. Do y'all know how many player-coach beefs there are in the NBA? Do y'all know how many coaches and players don't like each other in the NBA? Y'all think Ja Morant coming off the incident that he had last year, has the clout within the organization to walk in and get a coach fired. Are y'all like, where does y'all brain go with these narratives? We got the Goat Cast Hoops. Salute the Goat Cast Hoops. Goat Cast Hoops, I saw your comment about the Bob Cousy post. Look, and I even commented. I'll reiterate it here. Bob Cousy said what he said. Bob Cousy came out, y'all. If you haven't seen the post, Bob Cousy came out and said, man, I was only shooting 36, 37% from the field. Not from the three, from the field. He says, if I played today, I struggle to make a D3 basketball team. That's not what I said. That's what Bob Cousy said. There is no context applied. I don't need to apply context to a personal statement that somebody made about themselves. Bob Cousy said he wouldn't be able to cut it in today's game. That's because Bob Cousy played back then. He sees what the hell these guys are doing right now. I ain't going to cut it. Why do I need to run around and slice and dice what he said up, apply context just to make the argument that maybe he could play? He already came out and said he couldn't play. That was his statement. That's not a summary. That's not anything else. That's not a slice and dice. If somebody walk up to me and say, Lamont, hey, coach, I don't think I can make it on your team, man. I don't think I'm good enough. Do you think I'm going to sit around and be like, well, with context, man, no. All right. No, you ain't cutting it 10. Well, yeah, he was talking about himself, but I think the broader point is that there's a realization that a lot of these old players need to have. Bob Cousy is just the only one being honest about it. More of the older players would be respected if they came out and just admitted what Bob Cousy admitted. But we have all these old washed up players who we will never see dribble a basketball again, who we can actually see on film running around with these dream stories of, oh, if I play it now, I'd do this, that, and the other. No, you wouldn't. We got Judah says, wasn't LeBron shooting under 40%? Probably, Judah, but not for a career. Not for a career. And that's the thing. Like, and when I hear all these debates, and we're going to get to the topic of the show, when I hear all these debates, when people are talking about, oh, if you move this player back then, I heard somebody say, well, if you put Giannis back in the 70s, he ain't going to be as good because he got to wear Chuck Taylors. No. Because when y'all I want y'all to understand, when these old heads make these statements about players not being able to cut it in years prior, they are basically saying, as is, with his Nike shoes and all, if you put Giannis back then, he ain't going to be able to cut it. Don't try to send them back to 1970 and say, oh, we got to take away all your advancement, all your weightlifting, all your skills, all your shoes, everything that you had to make you good. And we got to wipe your whole slate clean, and you got to retrain as one of us, and then we'll see if you're good. No. Y'all watch Giannis play. Y'all watched how good he was versus the competition that he was going up against. And y'all in your minds, y'all said he couldn't cut it. The fact that you have to take him back to 1970, remove his Nikes, remove his weightlifting, remove his training, then he's not going to cut it. Well, of course, if you strip him of everything that made him Giannis, he ain't going to be Giannis. And it just proves what we say. Guys today are better because everything around them is better. The training is better. The equipment better. The time that they can put into the game is better. So, of course, it's better. This is really Yahweh is saying it's better today. Take him back. Put him in Chucks. He can't cross over in Chucks. What? Come on, man. I'm talking about man, oh man, y'all. We hear some of the craziest stuff, man. Today, y'all, look, we got Willie says only dummies compare today to a 2050 player. What are you talking about? Willie, what the hell are you talking about? Judah says a lot of dribbling will get stopped with the carrying. Judah, why do all y'all in the chat, if basketball is so easy, if they're all carrying the ball and all these manipulation and steps, if it makes you so much better, why the hell did all y'all struggle at the game of basketball? Why if we walk into a gym, most of you guys would struggle to dribble the ball up and down the court? I don't know. I mean, Judah, you literally said that the 1996 Sonics was the most difficult competition that Jordan faced in the 90s. Like, how can we trust you? How can you compare today to 2050? What are you talking about? What are you talking about 2050? What the hell are you talking about, Willie? We got Jason in the chat. He says, if Larry Bird performed how he did in 1981 finals, he would get slaughtered today. For some reason, fans in the past didn't care about how stars performed. No, and Jason, that's a good point, but this is what happened, Jason. In the past, fans understood that players were actually humans. And sometimes you will have a bad game. All fans asked in past eras, all fans asked the players was just show up more often than not. If you have a bad game, okay, we might get on you. We might be on your neck for 24 hours, but we're gonna move past it. We're gonna keep this ship going. We're not gonna stay negative. We're not gonna stay toxic. We're not gonna hold it against your legacy. We're just going to keep this thing moving, and we're going to just dwell in the positive. This is why Tragic Johnson was only Tragic Johnson for a short period of time. And now when we talk about Tragic Johnson, a lot of people have to go Google what the Tragic Johnson moment was. They have to go Google it to find it. Salute to Moose Talks Hoops, man. So appreciate you pulling up, man. I'm going to be dropping a link on this one too, man. I want all y'all to cook. Moose Talks Hoops been dropping some gems over there too, y'all. Make sure y'all go check out his channel, Moose Talks Hoops, man. His channel is in the chat, man. Y'all just type his channel name in. And the reason why I tell y'all to not just click his name and go to his channel, type it in, search it, and then click on his channel. See, when you type it into YouTube and you search it, you boosting his engagement, man. So help, you see these content creators, man, just do the small things, help give them a slight boost. Same with Goat Cast Hoops, man. He's been doing some hella fire videos on NBA history, man. High quality content over there, both of them, man. We got Judah says, and see, do y'all see what I mean? Judah's proving my point exactly. He says Luka carried the shit out of them all yesterday. Out of the ball yesterday. No, Luka didn't carry nothing out of the ball yesterday. I just think that people who complain about the ball handling today, y'all just can't play. Y'all can't hoop. Are you going to tell me, Judah, is that if we get on a basketball court and we go at it head to head, the reason why you'll be trash is because you can't carry the ball like Luka? Come on, y'all. No, GD can't. He can't. Oh, look, y'all. And look, our championship rings just came in. I put it on the community post, man. I'm going to share it with y'all, man. Our championship rings came in from last year, man. Salute to Grand Canyon University, man, blessing us with a championship ring. That's the first of hopefully many that I can attain, man. All right, we got our nationals next week, so we're looking to go back-to-back this year, man. We're looking to go back-to-back, man. No, and definitely, look, I would love to say that those are real diamonds, but obviously Those are more than likely. I believe that they're moissanite, but why would I complain, man? A ring is a ring. It's about what it memorializes, what it stands for, man. You know, you got to encapsulate that into a ring, man. I got to make sure I buy a special case for it too, man. You know, got to buy a special case for it. Make sure as we get started with this show, man, we got to cook up on this topic. Make sure y'all hit the Cash App and to support, man. $ Brooke 88B. We got Judah says, Lamont swears he knows it all when it comes to basketball. No, I don't. I just know I know more basketball than you. That's it. I don't know about anybody else. I just know I know more basketball than you, Judah. Right? And the one thing I appreciate the most are the people that actually will click the link and pull up and have the conversations. The people that annoy me most are the people that just type a bunch of stuff in the chat. Avoid having to justify the things that they say in the comments. Now, GCU is a D1 school. I don't coach the D1 team. We got 2 levels of teams here at Grand Canyon University. We got our D1 team, and then we got our club team. So I consider our club team, it's what you would kind of compare it to being a D2 school. Because we play D2 teams, D3 teams, community JUCO teams, and we have our own conference. So next week we're going to be playing in our for our national championship, comprised of the top 24 teams in the country. It should be a good one. Y'all. We got plays by CJ. Since some people think this hooping shit easy, FYF, we need to look, man. They think it's easy, but I mean, nobody's ever gonna pull up. Nobody's ever gonna. Like, there's plenty of people. Like, I even told the locker room. Locker room has been out here to Arizona about 5-10 times, and all I got is opportunity over at GCU. I got a facility with 10 courts. If y'all can look up our facility, it's called the Canyon Activity Center, where we practice. 10 courts. You walk in, all you see is basketball court on top of basketball court. Now we can test it. Now all of this stuff you say about Austin Reeves, let's see if you can do what Austin Reeves. Let's see if you can defend better than Austin Reeves. Let's do that. You want to get on Austin Reeves' defense, Luka defense? Let's see if you can be better. If you're talking about people giving effort and energy on defense, let's see if your effort and energy translates in a 1v1. Yes, all of our games are streamed on something called Baller TV, Jonathan Boy. Unfortunately, for Baller TV, you gotta have a subscription. But if you do want to watch our games, all of our games are live. Now, when we go to nationals, those games are going to be streamed for free on YouTube. On Nurse's website, and I can put when we get closer to that time frame, I'll put that all in there, man. I'll make sure you guys know in the community chat. But let's get to this right here. Look, we got to talk about it. The top 10. For the most part, and the one thing that's bothered me about the top 10, and this is with younger and older people, so it's not even just contingent on 90s fans or 80s fans or anything like that, because I've seen this across the board. I've seen this problem across the board, and I think people fear. I think people fear change. So, we got Tyson Thomas. He says he'll dunk on me. All right. I don't think you can dunk. Maybe you can dunk. I don't know. It's very hard. It's very difficult to dunk on somebody. But, I mean, if you think you can beat me, I mean. And the one thing with me, Tyson, is this. I give you one shot. We're playing one game, one-on-one. There are no get-backs. There are no rematches. I'm gonna beat you one-on-one, and then I'm gonna let you hold the L until I feel until I feel ready to play again. So I'm gonna beat you. You're not gonna get, even though could easily beat you twice or 3 times. I'm just gonna beat you once, and I'm gonna let you hold the L. He said, I'm only Dunkin' Donuts. Now, I know a lot of people that can hoop over 40. I got completely dominated by a dude that was like 47. He is a former NBA player, though. But, man, boys can still hoop. But, look, we got to talk about these. The problem with this all-time top rankings, y'all, is that a lot of people have completely created a top 10 list and then they put a lock on it. They create a top 10 list, and as they get older and they move farther and farther away from their originating era of basketball, that lock just gets tighter. And so what's happening now is we're coming up on a very unique time in basketball because guys like Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, Giannis, Jokic, all these guys over the next 10 to 15 years, if not sooner, will be retiring from the game of basketball. Oh, let me give a shout out. We got Cade, Kari, salute. Lethal Weapon 80, salute. Foxy Brown, one of the mods of the channel, salute. Appreciate you pulling up to the channel. But as these guys retire, the one thing that I'm starting to notice, and we got SB in here, he says, only player on the left side of the thumbnail who should be that top 10 is Curry. But Giannis and Jokic will be top 10 soon. But SB, if you know they're going to be top 10 soon, which in Jokic's case, Jokic could retire today and he has a top 10 resume. Jokic don't have to dribble the basketball no more. And he has a top 10 resume. Giannis, if he retired today, has a fringe top 10 resume. The only thing that these guys are doing from this point forward is they're just cementing their spot somewhere in the top 10. And I've always said, will you guys be ready to move some of the players that you love out? And don't mess around and have some type of criteria. Because criteria is only going to bump a lot of your favorites out. Like, for example, and that's why I put on there, Magic, Bird, Kobe. If you have criteria, there's no way to mix, match, hide Hakeem. There's no way to get around the fact that a lot of your favorites, the ones that you have some type of affinity towards, they got to go. Now, maybe you can play with it more loosely if you don't have a real criteria. And it's just, if for you, it's just all emotional. And we see, and as we've seen, we see a ton of people with a whole bunch of emotional top 10s. But if you have any level of criteria where we know, for example, we know that Jordan fans have a criteria. Their criteria is championships that they don't even hold to. But at the end of the criteria is what's going to hurt you the most. And so what we're saying, y'all, and I know a lot of you guys have seen this over time, is as Steph Curry, Jokic, and Giannis, as their resumes become more and more overwhelming and indisputable, what the haters are now doing is the haters are now on a parade, some type of campaign to try to convince the world that this entire era of basketball is just all bad basketball. And everything that we see these players doing today is all fake. It's not real. As you see with Judah in the chat. Oh, what they're doing today is so impressive that you got people in the chat like Judah talk about, yeah, they got to be carrying. No, maybe he's just nice. They got to be traveling and taking extra steps. No, they just read the rule book and they know how to manipulate the rules. At the end, in the NBA level, throughout NBA history, the rules have been always 2.5 steps, a gathering 2 steps. It's always been like that. The fact that guys like James Harden, they know how to manipulate that rule because they go to refs over the summer. What is 2.5 steps? How can I utilize these steps for max advantage? And then they go actually do it in the game and the refs can't call anything. That's just guys studying the game, studying the rule books, getting in the lab every summer, trying to figure out how to get better. Why did we not see people towing the line in these other eras of basketball? They didn't care as much. They weren't invested as much. As you guys admit, 60s and 70s. They were working other jobs. They were plumbers. They were mailmen. They were milkmen. Negative Thoughts says Magnus or Magic. All right. And Negative Thoughts, you know what? I'm willing to accept the idea of Magnus in the rim if you are able to come on the FYF Sports. I want you to put a magnet inside of basketball. I want you to then connect the opposite magnet to some weird remote that you can turn on and off. And I want you to show me how it works. And if you can show me how it works, if you could show me these magnets and how these magnets make shots go in magically, and how they turn it off for some players that can't make a shot, and how they turn it on for some players who make everything, if you can show me this, I'll take it. Just give me one example. A scientist, a science experiment, anything. Give me a YouTube video. Just give me anything. I mean, I know this is a narrative that Carcino for Life is pushing. I mean, and also, I want to know, how do you add the magnet into the basketball without then changing the weight of the basketball, right? If you put magnets in the basketball, now you change the entire dynamics of the basketball. It don't dribble the same. It weighs different. It feels different. When it hits the rim, how do you make sure that the magnet inside of the basketball don't clink against the rim and we hear that metal on metal sound? Clink. Who is the person running the magnet operator? Who's the magnet operator in the back? And what if he gets it wrong? And what if we come to find out that there was a magnet operator who was intentionally making some of LeBron James's shots go out because they were Jordan fans? What if we find that out? But see, when we talk magnets, y'all see the road to stupidity that we got to go down to talk magnets? Do y'all see the road to stupidity and all the illogical conclusions that we have to start to come up with when we go down the road of magnets? Thank you, Mr. Ballaraj. Anyone who thinks the NBA has magnets has never picked up a basketball in their life. And then if you played seriously to any level, the one thing basketball players are sensitive to are changes in the basketball. If I get a Wilson, if it don't feel like it Wilson evolution, I mean, if you just change a brand in basketball, it bothers shooters. When you go from Spalding to Wilson, you're going to have a group of hoopers that love Spalding, hate Wilson, or love Wilson, hate Spalding. And then there's a whole bunch of other brands like Nike. They make a trash basketball. Any change in the basketball players are sensitive to it. But I guess they wouldn't recognize magnets in the basketball, right? So we got to talk about it. Traditional top 10 list, y'all. We got traditional all-time NBA top 10 lists. Often skewed towards the legends of the, and if y'all notice this, most people's top 10 list is skews toward the 1980s and the 1990s. Jordan, Magic, Bird, Kareem. A lot of people have Bill Russell, which they're 60s, 70s, Wilt, 60s, 70s, Shaq, 90s, 2000s, Duncan, 90s, 2000s, Kobe, 90s, 2000s, Hakeem, etc. And so while those players are inner circle greats, most lists rarely have been updated to reflect the emergence of the stars today. And this is what we're going to be talking about today. Most of y'all lists only reflect what y'all grew up watching. When are the list going to be reflected? When are the list going to be updated to reflect the emergence of a guy like Steph Curry, Nikola Jokic, or Giannis and Kobe? And I believe that you guys don't want to elevate Steph Curry, Jokic, and Giannis and Kobe. I personally believe y'all don't want to elevate those guys, because if you have to elevate these guys, and not only are they considered top 10, and not only you would then be able to say the guy that y'all hate the most in LeBron James not only played against all these guys, but also beat them in significant moments. He went toe to toe in one of the most difficult eras of all time. It's a realization. I think there's a lot more. I think the reasons are bigger than those individual players themselves, because their resumes speak for themselves. But when we use criteria, and so for me, I'm going to talk about my criteria. Using the criteria, this is what I like to use. Using criteria of individual accolades, which for me, individual accolades is one of the strongest elements. Era dominance. I've talked to y'all about being able to dominate your era. And when I say era dominance, you can be dominant in a multitude of ways. You can be dominant as an individual player statistically. You can be dominant being part of a dynastic team. There's a multitude of ways to be dominant. That one's a little bit more open and subjective, but dominance is more broad. And what I like to do is I like to look at what made you great, what made you special to all of us, what part of your game impacted this 10 to 15 year gap, and we'll give you credit for that. I'm not going to be like one of those Jordan fans that say, oh, if you didn't score 30 points a game, you're not a good player. This is how you end up discrediting guys like Scottie Pippen, who was dominant on the defensive end because you're so hyper-focused on scoring, you only give guys who score the ball credit, but the guys who defend, none. Look at what each player was great at. Look at what they were dominant at, and then give them credit for being dominant. How did that dominance impact an entire era or decade of basketball? Next, we got winning impact. And when I say winning impact, it's winning beyond just the rings, right? Next, we got game-changing innovation and overall two-way greatness. And with all of this, a compelling case can be made that the three stars that I've mentioned, Steph Curry, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Nikola Jokic, right? A case can be made that they should be among and they belong in the top 10 players of all time, right? And what's happening is all these phony gatekeepers of the top 10, right? You got to start removing the nostalgia. You got to start removing the bias. Tyson says Bird and Curry is very close. It's not very, to me, it's no longer very close. Now, what helps Bird out is the 3 MVPs in a row. That's some hellified dominance. But we're going to get into some breakdowns where I'm going to kind of show you why I feel that these guys have ultimately done enough, as is today, to crack the top 10. And the beauty of it all is that all three of these guys are still playing and still playing at an extremely high level, adding a lot to the picture that they've already painted. Now, before we dive into each player's case, I want you guys to consider Curry, Jokic, Giannis each have multiple MVP awards, regular season MVPs being the hallmark of individual dominance, as I told you. Each has led a team to a championship, proving that they can convert greatness into the ultimate team success. And each has fundamentally changed the game or redefined what is possible at their position, which is another element of my criteria that I feel is essential for being a top 10 player. In contrast, beloved older icons like Kobe Hakeem Olajuwon, and others, they are often locked into a lot of people's top 10 lists, but they have fewer MVPs and as well, you know, as we can see, certain statistical and certain error-related shortcomings that warrant a re-examination. Remember, we did a show when we re-examined Kobe from 2000 to 2010. And a lot of you guys didn't like the results. So what we're going to do next is we're going to break down these cases for Curry, Jokic, and Giannis. It's going to be supported by stats. It's going to be supported by facts. It's going to be supported by quotes. Because some of y'all got to stop listening to the gatekeepers and then tying your opinion too much into what these gatekeepers of basketball are saying. Your top 10 list should be. It says you should do a show where you did a show where you hated on Kobe for 6 hours. Well, the only way I can hate on Kobe is if I hate him. See, so Anthony, the key element to hating on Kobe is that you have to hate him. I don't hate Kobe. If I hated Kobe, I would say he's 52 all time. That's hate. I told y'all that I feel like Kobe was number 11 all time. That's in the less than 1% of the top NBA players that have ever touched a basketball. And you guys say that's hate. But if I somehow magically change my criteria and I bump Kobe up 1 or 2 spots, then it's not hate. So if I come up with some weird reason, well, let me just switch Kobe from whoever I got at 8. And I drop that guy to 11 and I put Kobe at 8. How is that hate? And wouldn't the fan base of the player that I dropped to, for example, let's say I got Tim Duncan at 8. Would Tim Duncan fans then have the right to come running to me saying, you hating on Tim Duncan? You dropped him to 11. So it don't matter where I put Kobe. If it ain't where you have him, you're going to consider it hate. But that's because you guys are too hell-bent on being emotional. You're going to call it hate because your top 10 list is derived out of emotion. I'm not going to call it hate. In SB, I'm just giving an example. Not saying Tim Duncan is 8 or anything like that, but what I'm saying is just think of the very, very small change I need to make. And then all of a sudden, Kobe fans are happy all of a sudden. I could just make up any random excuse, and Kobe fans wouldn't even care what the excuse was. And if I find some weird reason to bump Kobe up 2 spots and drop another guy down, all of a sudden it goes from hate to love because Kobe's in my top 10. This is called, you guys are being very weird, cult-like gatekeepers. Because you don't care why other players get dropped. You only care when the player that you love drops. Jordan fans do all this all the time. That's why they have very cult-ish behaviors. Because I've always told Jordan fans this. The way Jordan fans applaud his legacy, the way that they kind of tell us what the criteria is that they use. If Jordan fans truly held to their criteria, then Kobe should be over Jordan. Nothing Jordan fans say makes sense. I think in this whole conversation, the least credible are the extreme Jordan fans. Because Jordan fans are going to come in and say 6-0, but then have Bill Russell ranked outside of the top 10 or not ranked at all. Jordan fans are going to say scoring. And then when you talk about Wilt, they're going to say, oh, he did it against bums. Very, very, their criteria moves based on who you're talking about. If we're talking about LeBron, okay, 6-0 is the criteria. If we're talking about Bill Russell, okay, nah, it's not championships, it's skill. He wasn't as skilled. If we're talking about Wilt, well, yeah, he scored a lot of points, but Jordan, he got the most points per game. He got 10 scoring titles. The goalposts, Jordan fans will move the goalposts based on what player they're debating. They can't have a consistent criteria. And the one thing that I've learned as I look through a lot of these debates, the only thing that keeps Jordan at number one are the subjective qualifiers. There is no running measurable. There's no individual record. There's no accolade. There's nothing measurable that keeps Jordan at number one. He don't have the most MVPs. That's Kareem. He don't have the most finals appearances. He don't have the most championships if you want to go to championships. He didn't score the most points all time. He's not the league's leading rebounder. He's not the best passer ever. There's no measurable that puts Jordan at number one. The only thing that keeps Jordan at number one are the subjective qualifiers, people's opinion on what it looked like, the optics. And Oswan Williams says most finals MVPs. I've never looked at a finals MVP, and I don't know why you guys look at finals MVPs as if they are very valuable awards. You could literally compare a finals MVP to a player of the month award. It's too small of a sample size, and anybody can win it. I mean, think about it. To win a league MVP, we have never seen some bum just accidentally waltz his way into a league MVP. But we have watched a guy like Andre Iguodala win finals MVPs. We saw James Worthy win finals MVP over Magic. We saw Dennis Johnson win a finals MVP over Bird. That finals MVP, because of how small of the sample size is the easiest MVP award that you can win. And the fact that y'all put so much weight into it is crazy. At most, it's a 7-game sample size. On average, it's about a 5 to 6 game sample size. Why would I use an award like that and make it applicable to where I ranked you for your career? Because, again, none of y'all give Andre Iguodala any extra brownie points for winning the finals MVP. Y'all don't give James Worthy any extra brownie points for winning the MVP. Y'all only try to use the only people y'all try to give extra credit to with the MVPs or with the finals MVPs are the players that you like. Yeah, Cornbread Maxwell over Bird, my bad. So at the end of the day, why am I going to run around? SB, you got to listen to what I'm saying. I'm not saying finals MVP doesn't matter. What I'm saying is, do I consider a finals MVP equal to a league MVP? No. I weigh it differently. If you have 5 league MVPs and you have another guy that has 5 finals MVPs, I'm going to give more credit to the guy with 5 league MVPs before I give credit to the guy with 5 finals MVPs. Much more difficult journey to be a league MVP. And then in some cases, like with Jerry West, how do you value his finals MVP? When they lost and he won the award. I mean, I know it hasn't happened since, and it's a bad look for the league. I think the only reason the league stopped doing it is just a very odd look. But how do you value it then? We're going to talk about it right here. Let's talk about, we're going to start with Steph Curry, y'all. I feel like Steph Curry, and I'm going to tell you all the reasons why I feel like Steph Curry should be in the top 10. And we're just going to run down the list. I got it written down here. I'm going to get through it as quickly as possible. Steph Curry. The label I've given Steph Curry as to why I feel like he should be in everybody's top 10, the greatest shooter of all time, and he's also an offensive, he's the greatest offensive innovator ever. Accolades and dominance, Steph Curry's resume is top 10, two-time league MVP, unanimous MVP, four-time NBA champion, also earned a finals MVP in 22. 9-time All-NBA with multiple first-team selections, led the league in scoring twice. More importantly, Curry was the engine of the Golden State dynasty that dominated in the 2010s, 5 straight finals appearances in a row. And then look at his era dominance. His era dominance is evident from 2015 to 2019. The Warriors were a juggernaut. Curry was the focal point, right? And he added a 4th title in 2022. And when you look at Curry's career, and when you talk about his dominance, it almost like you can break his career up into 3s. There was the pre-Kevin Durant era where they won a championship without Kevin Durant. Then you have the Kevin Durant era. He's still great, and they win the championships with Kevin Durant. And then you have the post-Kevin Durant era where things are different. Roster's a little different. Nobody thought they would ever win one again, and they win another one again with a completely different team. Now they've reshaped who the Warriors are again. And Steph Curry, now with Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green, albeit very unlikely, which I don't want to put anything past the Warriors at this stage, they have now rewired and reworked that team. And now we have a 4th version of the Warriors where Steph Curry has another chance to make a run and get to another NBA final. The Warriors were a juggernaut with Curry as the focal point. Few players in history have a stretch as impactful as Steph Curry, and he did it all while revolutionizing the game of basketball. When we talk about his game-changing impact, Steph Curry changed the game. Marksmanship from the three-point line literally transformed offensive strategy in the NBA, right? His former teammate Andre Iguodala put it best. He says what he's done for the game of basketball, he's actually changed the game. How many people in the history of basketball have literally changed the way the game is played, right? You have to shoot 73s a game now sometimes, right? Not because you want to, but sometimes because you have to. Right before Curry, no team oriented his offense around a high volume, deep shooting player. Right. In fact, no player had even hit 200 threes in the season before Steph Curry. Curry had shattered the barrier with 272 threes in 2013, then broke his own record repeatedly. By 2016, became the first player to ever sink 400 threes in a season. Limitless range, quick release, bent defenses to breaking points. Coaches were forced to pick him up at the half, devise new schemes simply just to contain him. We've never seen something like that before. Right? Curry's gravity demands probably some of the most attention that we've seen in NBA history. The impacts just go beyond the stat sheet. We don't even have to keep talking about Steph Curry. We talk about the statistical greatness. We can run off his statistical greatness. We can run off Curry's efficiency and advanced metrics, which I know you guys hate. But if we run down that list, we'll be talking all day. I got the numbers in front of me. I just don't want to. I could go on and on about this guy. The fact that you guys don't have him in your top 10 is crazy. Right? And then if you are one of those people that go to winning, he has a legacy of winning. Right? When you look at how his resume stacks up, right, with the 4 championships, that's more than Bird, right? That's more than Bird's 3. That's equal to Shaq's 4, right? He's the and he's always been the driving force of those teams. And unlike some legends who needed to piggyback on greater teammates, Curry has always been the clear catalyst for the teams. I mean, I know it was arguable when KD was there, but when you look at how teams defended the Warriors when KD was there, they still double Steph, even with KD on the court. And that talks about his gravity. Right, compared to Kobe Bryant, who won 5 rings, Curry has 4, and is right in that same range. Right, and and recall that Kobe's first 3 came as Shaquille O'Neal's sidekick, whereas Curry was always the primary star for Golden State. Right, Curry also has more MVPs than Kobe, 2-1. That might be a slight difference, but it is a difference. And MVPs are the greatest individual accolades that you can win as a basketball player. And he did it all at a far better efficiency and advanced stats. Right? It's telling that Bryant, when you talk about Kobe Bryant, y'all, it's telling that Bryant has never led the NBA in any one of the primary advanced metrics. He never led the league in PER, win shares, box plus minus in any season, whereas Curry has led the league in multiple seasons in those advanced metrics. That is a testament to his dominance as well. Even if you compare them to Magic, because I know a lot of people try to pretend and say that Magic is the greatest point guard of all time. No, we changed that a long time ago. It's Steph Curry, right? When you compare Curry to Magic, right? A common debate has been point guard supremacy. They try to blur the lines with how the point guard position is supposed to be played. Curry, y'all don't remember, Curry changed how the point guard position is played, right? Magic's 5 titles and 3 MVPs are often cited, but Curry's 4 titles and 2 MVPs, 1 unanimous, plus revolutionary impact make a strong case that Curry has equaled or even surpassed Magic Johnson by resume. Right, Magic never had to do. He never had to be a defensive focal point for opponents 30 feet from the hoop. Curry's ability to warp defenses is arguably more game-breaking than Magic Johnson's passing. As great as Magic was, even Hall of Famers have started to acknowledge Curry's place in history. So when you look at the impact of what Curry had to do on a day-to-day basis, what his responsibilities was, how difficult it was for him to be great at what he does, I think the impact is the separator between him and Magic, right? And let's not even compare their stat lines if you want to be one of those stat heads. The only way you can put Magic over Steph is if you go to team accolades. He says you picking and choosing depending on the player. How am I picking and choosing? I'm using the same criteria versus any player. This is all based on the same criteria. It's all based on the very same criteria. I'm not warping or changing my criteria based on who we're talking about. We're talking about starting with individual dominance, accolades, impact. How did you change the game historically? If you go to how you changed the game historically, who had the bigger impact on how basketball was played? Magic or Steph? I don't even think that's debatable. One of the reasons why Steph had the biggest impact is because Steph is closer to normal stature. You can't duplicate what Magic does because there's just not too many people walking around that are 6'9" to start. So it's hard for how you play the game to have significant impact or change the way kids and the way people play the game if you're not normal. Curry's normal. I mean, y'all get mad at criteria, but you guys are the ones that come to me and tell me your criteria is championships and don't have Bill Russell as the GOAT. I don't allow I allow my criteria to choose the top 10. You guys allow y'all feelings to choose the top 10, and you use made up criteria to keep certain players out. That's the difference. Let's go to Nikola Jokic. Right. I think some of the best elements for Nikola Jokic are going to be accolades and consistency. His game-changing playmaking. When you talk about how he changed the game, when you talk about because at Peace World, this is not ChatGPT because I've told you guys my criteria before. This is the same criteria I've always used. You just don't listen. And again, when I drop the link, I want to know what your criteria is. And if your top 10 aligns with your criteria, we know it won't. Because I don't debate people's top 10. I just want to hear if your criteria actually makes any sense and if you've equally applied it. And just don't be one of those people that all of a sudden disappear and start fluttering around when all of a sudden when I drop the link and now is your opportunity to come up here and tell us what your top 10 is and what criteria you apply. And if you have left the door open for players of the day to actually crack the top 10. So we go to Jokic, 2-time MVP, on one of the most dominant runs in NBA history. It could be argued that the year that Nikola Jokic won the championship, statistically, it could be argued that he had probably one of the greatest finals runs in NBA history. If you judge it based on efficiency, that could very easily be argued. Right. And I know a lot of people can go to competition and who he played. At the end of the day, he can't control who he plays. When you look at that run in and of itself, Jokic made some hella fire runs. When you look at Jokic's impact on the game, Jokic is widely heralded as the best passing big man in NBA history. So when you talk about being the best at something, are you the league's leading scorer? Are you the league's greatest shooter? When you talk about being the best at something, just be number one. If you're in the top 10, I believe you need to be number one at something. We need to be able to look at some element of the game of basketball and say, you're the best at that. With Steph Curry, he's the best shooter. With Nikola Jokic, he's the best passing center, the best passing big we've ever seen. And it's not even close. I know some of you guys, and I've seen some people on Players' Choice talk about Arvidas Sabonis. What? No. You got people running around saying, oh, Sabonis was Jokic before Jokic. No, he was not. I watched Sabonis play. Not close. Don't let these people lie to y'all. My bad. 3-time MVP. Potentially 4. Because it's looking like this year, it's looking like he got it. So we talk about Jokic in a nutshell. His offensive mastery. We all know his stats. We all know his triple doubles. And when I drop the link and you guys want to come up here, if you really want to dive into the stats, we can dive into the stats. I have them all right here. Jokic today, if he retires, if this is his last year playing NBA basketball, he has had a top 10 career. The beauty of Jokic is not only has he had a top 10 career based on individual accolades, team accolades, and impact on the game, he's still playing at a high level, adding to this legendary run. And the only thing that a lot of these critics who have gatekeeped their top 10, the only thing that they can say to keep him out is that they don't play no defense today. They try to pretend as if everything that he's doing is just by defenses are so bad, you can literally just get an assist by blinking your eye. No, Iron Man, I'm saying that Jokic right now is top 10. Just why wait? If he's already formulated a top 10 resume, just put him in the top 10. You need to start figuring out who you're booting out. Somebody got to go. The Kobe's, the Hakeems, Magics, the Birds. Somebody has to go. Because at the end of the day, if I'm starting a team and I could either take a prime Bird or a prime Nikola Jokic, I'm taking Nikola Jokic all day. Prime Magic or prime Nikola Jokic, I'm taking Jokic. Prime Hakeem or prime Jokic, I'm taking Jokic. Like these, and y'all can argue and fight and pretend, but his resume is his resume. The only thing you can do now is try to explain away at the fact that as to how he was able to accumulate this resume. Because that's all people are doing right now. They're just making up stories and narratives, crying about how they were able to accumulate these resumes. When Russell Westbrook averaged a triple-double, what did they tell us? They didn't tell us it was great. They told us he was stat padded. Oh, his teammates was giving him rebounds. Oh, the league is weak. The last time I checked, when Oscar Robertson did it, it was one of the greatest statistical feats ever. All of a sudden, some player today does it. Oh, that's easy. You just stat padding. It's wild, man. So we got Nikola Jokic. We can compare him to past legends. And when I come up here, I believe that guys like Hakeem Olajuwon, he's usurped. He's completely cleared for a career already, and he's still added to that resume. There's a multitude of players. I believe when you compare what he's done to Larry Bird, I believe that he's done enough to pass up Larry Bird as an individual player, the way he's changed the game and winning-wise. Same with Magic. Even that most definitely with guys like Kobe Bryant. But when are fans going to leave the fandom behind, actually use their brains, and take the emotion out of it? Are they going to have the balls when it comes time to kick the Kobe's out, kick the Hakeems out, kick the Bird and Magics out? When we go to Giannis Antetokounmpo, I got Giannis Antetokounmpo listed as not only just his accolades, but his two-way excellence, unparalleled physical dominance. And I have him as the greatest transition scorer in NBA history today, right now. He's going to go down as, he can go down arguably as the greatest two-way player in NBA history. So Giannis is still writing the script on what he's going to be great at, because there's a multitude of things we can say he's the greatest at. He says maybe at the end no, even if we wait to the end of their careers, y'all think all of a sudden at the end of their careers, y'all going to come to some new revelation? Oh, if he retires, now I figured it out. Now he's top 10. No. At the end of their, when you look at, I'm talking about their resumes to now. If you look at their resumes up into now, why the guys of today, why do they have to do 5 to 10 times more than what the players of the past did just to crack the top 10? Hakeem Olajuwon was mediocre for years throughout the 90s. He has 2 good years in the 90s, because really, if you think about Hakeem Olajuwon's entire career, if you're being honest, he only had 2 years that you could say were MVP quality years. For the rest of the years, he was really good. He was an all-star. But if you look at Hakeem Olajuwon's career, he only had 2 seasons in his career that were MVP caliber. He could lose in the first round. He could do all of this stuff. He could be mediocre. They had to do, players like Hakeem Olajuwon could do so little. Kobe Bryant, when you look at Kobe Bryant, he can be a sidekick and it's okay. He can be a sidekick to Shaquille O'Neal and it's okay. He can win 3 championships and you still give it to him, right? And another guy who's just like Jordan, solely dependent on Phil Jackson to win championships. Outside of Phil Jackson, he could not win a thing. He couldn't win a thing. He couldn't sniff winning a thing. He couldn't get to an NBA final. He could not win nothing without the crutch of Phil Jackson. And when you talk about playoff performances, some of the worst playoff performances and letdowns that you've seen, y'all don't talk about it. When y'all talk about players quitting all the time, Kobe done that multiple times in the playoffs. I don't hear it. When you talk about choke jobs, giving up 3-1 leads, getting swept by the Dallas Mavericks, I don't hear about it. The same narratives that y'all try to apply to today's players, why do those narratives all go into the garbage can when we're talking about Kobe? I mean, if there's anyone to go first out your top 10, the first to go got to be Kobe. Y'all talk about players winning MVPs and championships on your watch. That's all they did when Kobe played, when he was the number 1 dog. By 2007, in Kobe's prime, they were saying LeBron James was the best player in the league. Not me. Jerry West said it. And I'm not saying this to say that Kobe's a bad player. What I'm doing is I'm taking the typical things that you guys like to apply to players of today. The choking, bad playoffs, and losing. And if you apply that standard to Kobe, he don't measure up. Missing clutch shots. If you apply the missing clutch shots to Kobe, he's missed the most clutch shots. We got Peace World. He says, yes, LeBron did say Kobe was the best at that time. But you know who said Kobe wasn't the best? The people who were voting on and handing out the league MVP. He wasn't the best. Even the year that Kobe won his only MVP, it's arguable that he shouldn't even have won it that year because he wasn't better than a couple guys that year. He only won it that year because they gave it to the best player on the best team, similar to how Steve Nash won it. And you guys rightfully say Steve Nash didn't deserve those MVPs. In 08-09, if LeBron said that, fine. But at the end of the day, Peace World, when I go look at Kobe's resume, I don't see anywhere on when I go to Basketball Reference, when I go to NBA.com, you know what I don't see? It's not an accolade for LeBron James said he was the best player in 2009. Is that an accolade now? Has LeBron become so great to you, Peace World, that if he gives the nod to a player that has now a new notch as an accolade? LeBron said Kobe was the best in 09. So now because LeBron said it, now that's a new accolade. Are you telling me that's how good and that's how favorable you think of LeBron James? That if he just breathes Kobe's name and says he was good at anything, then that is now a new accolade. LeBron said it. We all know why he said it. And we all know what he meant when he said it, because they weren't talking about that year. They really, when players are asked that question, they are generally kind of asked in the sense of his career. And at the end of the day, if we look at it, just look at when they matched up against one another, LeBron always beat Kobe with a worse team, right? All I'm saying is if you guys hold to y'all same standards, every time they matched up when they went head-to-head, because y'all are all about the head-to-head matchups, why is the head-to-head matchup 16-6? Are you going to tell me Kobe had a bad team? You can't do that in the 2000s. You can't do that until the end of Kobe's career. Bron came in 03. He had been beating Kobe-led teams since 03. 03, 04, 05, 06, 07, 08, 09. This is all Kobe's prime. 16-6. Peace World. I don't care who you have as the GOAT. What I'm saying is just because a player makes a statement doesn't mean it rings true. And we'll give it to Kobe. Let's say he was the best player in 09. That's still not indicative of your entire career. Because this is a career conversation, not LeBron said I was the best in 09 conversation. It's crazy. We got to re-rank these, man. We got to re-rank our top 10s. We have to now find ways to bring in guys that you guys are you just for whatever reason y'all being resistant to putting them into the top 10, even though all logic and reason says that they're top 10 players. No, what I brought up was I brought up the most unbiased person, because if there was anybody in the world that would have a reason to say that Kobe Bryant was the best player in the game, it would be Jerry West, the guy that made him a Laker, the guy that traded for him, the guy that saw his talent before anybody saw his talent. But even as Kobe was in his prime, the guy that opened the world to showing the world who Kobe Bryant was, the guy who believed him and traded for him, the guy who watched him win 3 championships with the Lakers, he still saw LeBron James and said, that's the best player in the world. So what we're looking for is I'm looking at I'm looking at non-biased. I'm not going to take a reporter asking a question about Kobe's career or legacy and obviously fandom. I need non-biased participants in this. I need not unbiased answers. Oswald says Lamar going to crash. Crash on what? What are we talking about here? RT the brand. That's right. Nobody talks about Westbrook. They hate on Westbrook. They call him Westbrick. It's wild. What game got delayed, y'all? What game y'all talking about? Westbrook will be top 10. I mean, Westbrook's gonna have a hell of a case to Westbrook's gonna have a hellified case to be ranked really high. And Westbrook's just another guy that fans, for whatever reason, have decided to hate on him. And once these fans today, how toxic they are, once they start to decide to hate on everything that you've done, they're going to find ways. They're going to try to find ways to tear down everything that you've done, no matter how great it was. Westbrook has been historically great. He's done things in the NBA that will never be duplicated again. And if it is duplicated, it's probably not going to be within the next 50 to 60 years. We'll be all dead and gone when these things are duplicated again. So if we were to re-rank the top 10 today with fairness to modern talent, players like Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar definitely probably remain locks. But Steph Curry belongs right alongside them as the greatest shooter, four-time champion. Giannis and Kobe, with his MVPs, two-way dominance, has a case to bump out a lower-ranked older star such as Bird or Kobe, given his unique hardware trifecta, peak impact. Nikola Jokic as well. As of his 2023 title and Finals MVP, he has entered rarefied air. That's a fact. His blended statistics, eye test dominance puts him above most centers not named Kareem or Shaq. And it may be time to say that the back end of the top 10 should include these three players. Ultimately, y'all, re-ranking all-time greats should not be about loyalty to an era, but about measuring players against the criteria of greatness. Goat Cast Hoops. If your criteria calls for Wilt being bumped out, then you have to bump them out. But don't leave them in if your criteria cites otherwise. So by those measures, y'all, individual brilliance, when we talk about criteria, sustained era, defining impact, winning at the highest level and changing the game. Steph Curry, Nikola Jokic, Giannis and Kobe have elevated themselves into the top tier of NBA history. It's only fitting that our list and discussions catch up to that reality. We got to stop hating. We got to give these modern legends their due alongside the Jordans, the Magics, the Birds of the world. The top 10 needs to evolve. Everybody's top 10 needs to start evolving. And these three have proven that they belong in elite company, not in the future, like somebody in the chat was saying. Wait till they retire. That's an excuse. But right now, we need to elevate those guys right now. And so, obviously, I have the numbers and everything to support. We'll get into all of that if need be. I'm going to drop the link in the chat. Let's get you guys up here to cook on this topic, man. And what are y'all thoughts, man? Are y'all going to be fair? James Harden clears Westbrook. Man, the hate that y'all apply to Russell Westbrook is sad, man. The hate that y'all put on Russell Westbrook is sad, man. You know, I'm at this stage in Westbrook's career, I'm just surprised he hasn't caught an assault charge just slapping the shit out of somebody. Because at this stage in his career, this man's close. He's worth about $500 million right now, according to reports. I wouldn't be surprised if one of you guys walked up to him and called him Russell Westbrook, if he just hauled off and just slapped you across the face or something. Just take the lawsuit. Because when you talk about the embodiment of what every coach wants from their player, a guy that comes in, goes all out, works hard. Yep, he might make a few mistakes here or there, but you ain't gonna find a guy that works hard, stays in shape, plays through injuries. You ain't gonna find a guy that does these things better than Russell Westbrook. And then all y'all have to say about him is Russell Westbrook. All y'all have to say about him is that his triple doubles a stat pattern. And some of y'all can't even get a triple single at the LA Fitness. And this is not a greatest point guard conversation. Russell Westbrook is already a top 5 point guard all time. So this ain't a point guard. We're talking about Russell Westbrook needs to be in conversations that are top 20 and up. And that's the 20 is the floor for Russell Westbrook. 20 should be the floor for Westbrook. All people do is just disrespect Russell Westbrook. And literally Russell Westbrook has been the embodiment of what every coach would love and dream to have on their team. He do everything right, don't get in trouble, don't do a whole bunch of crazy stuff. He play hard. All y'all do is cry and whine about a jump shot or turnover that he makes. So the stuff that Russell Westbrook does is literally the same thing that all y'all favorite players do on every single night. But for whatever reason, Russell Westbrook, it's 1,000 times magnified when he turned the ball over. When he missed a three-pointer, it's 1,000 times magnified. Now he's Russell Westbrook. I mean, the last time I checked, we could have came up with some brick nickname for Kobe, because Kobe for sure bricked a whole bunch of them things. But y'all see how y'all pick and choose with y'all favorite players? Herb says Zeke took risk. All great point. I don't know what that means. The hell you mean he took risk? He just hooped. Link is in the chat, man. Y'all come up here and cook, man. I want to see, because like I said, I didn't even give y'all all the ammo I got. I just want to see what y'all say. I just want to know what 3 players do y'all plan to kick out y'all top 10 so that Steph, Giannis, and Jokic can enter the top 10. That's what I want to know. Because I think we got overwhelming evidence. And y'all, for the link, y'all, I'm also gonna put the link on the community post so it's easier to click. Because I know when we doing a vertical live, the link is harder to click. So let me put it on. If you want to join the show, you can also go to the community tab. And I'm gonna put it in the community tab as well. He said Lamont picks on Kobe. How do I pick on Kobe? What do I say about Kobe's career that's just not true? We got Trice Crew Life. Trice Crew Life says Jordan, Kobe. Well, Kobe number 2 is wild. Bird number 3 is even wilder. Magic, number 4, is crazy. And to have Magic over Kareem is even crazier. Duncan, Hakeem, Wilt, Dr. J. I don't mind the twist of throwing Dr. J at the tail end. And then you got Nikola Jokic at 10. I mean, at the end of the day, that's your list. I would really love to know what your criteria was on how you put that one together. Because that is going to be some crazy criteria. Magic over Kareem. I don't know how you miswarp your criteria to put Magic over Kareem is wild. Kareem has the longevity. Kareem has the MVPs. Kareem has the championships. Kareem literally has everything. The individual stats, literally everything that you can think of. Defensively, offensively. I don't know how you put Magic over Kareem. Like, that's going to be some wild criteria right there. He said it's a terrible list. Yeah, no. Most people's criteria is not what you value the most in order. Most people's criteria is just their favorite player at 1, and the rest is just a whole bunch of BS. What most people do is they figure out where they want to put their favorite player in the top 10, and then they just start throwing names around. Well, we all know Jordan's number 1. Let's put him 1. What you can see by this list is you can tell by that list that we just saw that Kobe's his favorite player. That's what that when you see Kobe at number 2 or 3, that's how you know that Kobe's their favorite player. When you put somebody where they don't belong. We got another list, leftover take. Bron 2, Bron 1, Kobe 2, MJ 3. Kobe at number 2 is just wild. Tim Duncan 4, Hakeem 6. Hakeem 6 is crazy as well. Steph, Jokic, Giannis, I guess. I mean, that's a wild top 10 right there. Again, it'll be some criteria there that I would have to get a better understanding of what the hell you got going on. And let me give a shout out before we go to real takes over fake debates, man. Make sure y'all follow him on YouTube and TikTok, man. He almost got shut down by Trump a couple weeks ago. His whole TikTok career was going to be in the garbage can, but somehow Trump saved him, man. Or Joe Biden was almost shut down his whole channel on TikTok. But they have a hella fight show over there. Hold on. SB, you still with your girl? Hey, y'all, I'm going to tell y'all a story about SB. And I'm going to tell y'all what saved SB one time, y'all. A lot of y'all don't know this because we were actually doing this on another platform, right? We were on an app, right? We were doing a sports show on the app called Plenty of Fish. And I'm gonna tell y'all what saved him. We were doing a sports show on an app called Plenty of Fish. It's actually a dating app, but they were trying to transform the app into a public platform. And so we're doing a live over there. SB's girl catches us on Plenty of She gets to ranting, raving. You know how the Chicago women do. They don't want to hear no questions. They don't want to hear no answers. They just go crazy. And the only thing that saved SB, y'all, the fact that he had went to dossier.com and he went and got his spring fling and she got a whiff of that. And I keep the magnesium in here. Magnesium is calming to the nerves. The magnesium is what saved him. She calmed down. We were able to explain this just a sports show. And he didn't get in trouble. Make sure y'all go. The link is in the chat. Go to dossier.co. Get your sense, right? Check out the promo. Make sure y'all get y'all sense. Spring Fling. Use code FYF Sports and they get a discount. Now, SB, talk to the people. Did that happen?
W promo, by the way. I'm proud of you. You get good at the commercials. I'm actually proud of you. Look, man. Yep. But no, that happened. That happened. Yeah. So you got to go ahead and get that spray right there, man. It's definitely gonna help y'all out.
Oh man, link is in the chat, y'all.
You got to send another package out. You know what I'm saying? My girl been acting up late, so go ahead.
Hold on, I've been trying to get this one away, so I got you.
All right, say less.
Got this box right here. I'm sure I can get your address later. We'll get it sent out to you, man. We got actually 2 of them right here.
The crazy part about it is I've been meaning to chop it up with you about that too, because we was doing the football thing over there, but I know you wanted me to do the football on FYF, so we might have to, the season from the start, so you might as well go ahead and get the football show going on a consistent basis with it. So you remember I was doing like the bad take book videos, and then like we should do like reaction to bad takes and see if they deserve to go in the book. And I think like if I could get, I know you be doing your thing, coach, but if I get you and Johnny consistent on it, I think that'll be a banger. Because think about if you do episode edition with a Lamont bad takes, or episode edition, a Dreamers Pro edition, a Ticket TV. I think that'll go crazy. Then that can help with the Discord too. Like, hey, look, this is where y'all drop all the videos at for the takes. But I'm gonna see what the Johnny think about it too, though.
Yeah, I don't got no bad takes though.
No. Look, hey, make people go in that archive. It's gonna be Lamont with the fade.
Hey, give me hold on, let me mute that. Give me one bad take.
No, I mean, look, yeah, definitely Kobe, the Kobe ones. You can find the Kobe one. It depends.
Hold on, what did I say about Kobe?
They said you say a lot of bad stuff about Kobe. I can do my research. Lamont, you could be episode 1.
I mean, that's fine if you can find them. See, the thing is, you can't see what you'll be able to find video titles.
Oh no, you excellent at that. I ain't gonna hold you.
That don't seem right or sound right, but nah, I don't know if you can find takes.
Look, what a Discord link. We're gonna add the channel called Bad Takes, and then we gonna.
Oh, he said Hakeem not being top 7 is a bad take. Hell no, Hakeem is not top 7.
It depends on, did you hear his criteria? From his criteria, not really.
Hell no, he's not top 7. But what you got on this topic though, SB?
No, I think one thing that we got to really truly do is just like follow your criteria, and what your criteria is, your criteria, because your criteria could list from a point where no player had played in certain eras could be in your top 10 as long as you match your criteria. For me personally, that's all that really matters. My criteria would be probably obviously the basic ones: accolades, accomplished, have you won, dominance of your era. But also, I like, for me personally, how big did you impact the game of basketball? Like, is it transcendent where it's like I can't tell the history of basketball without you? That does matter. Also, player improvement from the point of like consistently through your career, have you improved? When one time we thought people like with Steph Curry is my perfect example when I added it to my criteria recently, because I was like, Steph Curry is the only player that I've seen that won an MVP, and he's better than the version of his MVP self. Steph Curry is better today than MVP Curry, or the last couple of years have been better. And I think you definitely need to add, to me personally, I definitely added that. And then also consistent dominance. It could be individual or team-wise, however you want to put it. And also, it's called air attacks when people use it, but it does matter. I say under substance to understand what's going on. So, like, perfect example, the substance that you got to add. Everything got to have substance to it. So, like with the Bill Russells, the Wilts, even with Jordan with his DPOY, like with stats being changed, or also, hey, Bill Russell got all these rings, but he was in the 2-round series. So I feel like if I dock him for that just because of that. But that's just me personally. If I had to say my top 10 off my head, I believe I would go Jordan, LeBron, Kareem is interchangeable at 1, 2, 3. I think they're the 3 best players. I don't care what order you put them in. Sometimes I flip-flop all the time and say LeBron to go Kareem. Then I go Duncan, Kobe, Shaq, Curry. Yeah, I was fighting to keep Curry out of my top 10. I can't do it.
What criteria is this? What's your top 3 elements of criteria?
The basic ones, I mean, the main ones, obviously, achievements, dominance of your era, and game changer. I say those are like the main 3. But obviously, everything comes with substance. So explain the substance of it. So if somebody asks me like, oh, if you put this person here, why did you dock this player? And I can literally give you the substance of why I docked that player. Because Bill Russell does have 11 rings. The championship does matter, but you got to acknowledge the fact that he literally only had a 2-round series. And I'm going to give players like LeBron, Curry, Jordan, who played more rounds to get the championship over him, or even with Wilt and Jordan, with their stats being cooked. I still believe LeBron James is the better defender. I can still say Jordan is a better scorer, but also you can't come to me and be like, hey, but look at these stats right here, but it's known for a fact that the stat books is cooked. And man, y'all done heard me on FYF. My criteria has changed. You have to open that door to be able to change your criteria because of things that happen in the research that I learned. Because if I go back off how I had the basic mindset, then no, I have a basic thing. a basic criteria. But after Curry, I'm trying to think. Jordan, LeBron, Kareem don't matter. They top three. Duncan, Kobe, Shaq, Curry, Magic, Bird, and 10. I'm really questionable on, and I'm just probably be respectful and say Bill, but I'm questionable on 10 because my 10.
But how does? But if it's accolades too, then how is like if it's accolades?
Mm-hmm.
You know, Bill Russell got a shit ton of MVPs.
That's understandable, but what's the substance to it? What's the substance?
But the thing is, but now you're penalizing them for just being born in the wrong era.
But every player gonna get penalized because that's the case. Why is John Havlicek not top? The more we grow older and the more player skills develop and more accolades come out. That's like me punishing you. Like what's the new award that just came out?
So you're air taxing players.
Yes, I said air tax. I literally said air tax.
Okay.
I did.
Yeah.
Air tax is my criteria.
If air tax is your criteria, it's a nasty, slick criteria to bump guys down. But
no, I'm being honest about it though, because guess what? In 40 years, the players now gonna get air tax too. It's gonna be
because I don't air tax because I just say, yeah, you know how I feel about the 90s. But at the end of the day, I always say, no matter what I think about the 90s players and the competition, Jordan dominated the 90s like no other. And at the end of the day, no matter what you think about it, dominance is dominance. Like, and it's not like he chose to go to a league that was that watered down. The league just was watered down because forces at B chose to water the league down. He just had to hoop. Yeah. And so, man, to penalize Bill Russell because
I did say your era dominance matter, but I did say how you dominate your era does matter too. But I said you got to have substance. You got to explain because that's
the counter argument. One could easily say, yeah, he only had 2 rounds in the playoffs for some of the years of his career, but the talent was more congested. So he had to see some of the teams he had to see have 5 and 6 Hall of Famers on it. You never gonna see that today. So
was they 5 or 6 Hall of Famers because how great they was, or it was just a small pool of players?
It was great at that time.
Okay. No, I'm asking. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm asking.
See, at the end of the day, I can't say it wasn't great to them in the moment. The way they knew basketball at that moment in time, all those players were the best in the world. Those players made up some of the best basketball players in the world at that moment in time. So all Bill Russell did was play the best talent in the world in that moment. And the talent was more congested.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of going up against 1 or 2 all-stars or superstars, he's going up against teams with 5, 6, sometimes 7. If he's going up against the Celtics, Hall of Famers, superstar talent type players.
Lamont, if it's 20 players in the room, over 100 players in the room, is it probably easier for you to be labeled or easy people see how great you are because how small the pool is of players?
No, what I'm saying is.
No, I'm saying I'm asking in general. So if you want to get to scout 20 players and then you got to look at 100 players, it's probably be easier to get noticed more when because it's such a small pool. Yes, it's gonna be like you said, it could be harder, but it's like it's or the players are, and I'm not trying to disrespect the era, so I'm trying to say it as most respectful way I possibly can. But I just also have to look at the fact of that the player pool was that small, so it's easy to be like, man. It's 6 teams in the league. Oh, they got 5, 6 all-stars. Yeah, it's only 5 teams in the league. Of course.
So if that's the case, no matter how the talent was spread, he was the best player amongst that talent because he had 5 MVPs from 1908 to 1965. Mm-hmm. That's domination.
Yeah, he dominated. That's why I put him 10 respectfully because of that.
Because with my criteria, I'm gonna give you your dominance, individual accolades. He has MVPs. The winning, he has winning. The dominance, he definitely dominated his era. Just look at what his contemporaries say. Mm-hmm. Look at what he did on the defensive end, rebounding, and as a winner. I mean, to me, he checks a shit ton of boxes.
No, he does. He does.
If you air tax him and say, well, shit, I don't think it was that nice because that era was just kind of. I mean, the air tax is nasty, bro. I don't know.
I said with substance though. That's why I said I didn't want to call it air tax, but it is. I'm just saying, you got to explain because let's be real, Lamont. Like the stand a consistent top 10 is getting hard to do because like even me and Sean stopped doing the top 10. We do tiers now. It was like tier 1, tier 2, tier players. Because it's getting to a point where it's gonna be hard and somebody gonna get left out. Because I think 10 through 15 is a toss up from like 8 players, and you could go either which way. I just think the only players that's really locks, in my honest opinion, that's gonna probably stay for a while is probably LeBron, Jordan, Kareem. And I'm gonna be real with you. I think Tim Duncan, who don't get talked about enough, is honestly and could be in that conversation to be a GOAT. And sometimes I feel like Tim Duncan is if you really look at it, could be in that GOAT criteria to me. Because if you look at Shaq, Shaq fell off. Shaq did fell off. Shaq was dominant as much as he is, but you look at what Shaq was done during that point in time. That after that Lakers thing, he fell off drastically. But then you see a guy like Kobe, where Kobe get docked as a sidekick, but he became a role player to a superstar and consistently improved over his career. But then also we docked Kobe for the tail end when he was injured a lot. Because 2012 to 2009, like 09, people was talking about Kobe different. LeBron has been the model of consistency, and that's why people label him as a GOAT because he has consistently improved too.
Kobe's whole career is what it is, though. Like the thing is, as much as we want to just look at Kobe's career and say, and I'm gonna go to Spiffy here next. Let's take away the beginning and the end because it was so bad. Well, the beginning that's part of his legacy. It started off bad, and the end of it, well, shit ended bad. Well, that's part of his legacy. The in between, well, we can have a conversation about the in between because that was kind of nice.
Hit the link, Tyson, if I'm rambling.
But I just don't think you can handpick what parts of the career, and I think that's why a lot of people start running the peak because they say, "Well, I want to see." I think when especially you hear this a lot with Jordan, they want to talk about peak with Jordan because they want to avoid talking about all of the losing in the beginning.
Yep.
And the atrocious way it looked in Washington at the end. Don't talk to me about no peak, man. Hell no.
That's what made Jordan great, though, Lamont, because of the point of how he played. Because Jordan, when I put in that category with Steph Curry, had improved. Because if you really think about Jordan was sensational, but he became a better player in the 90s when he learned how to win and play the right way. You could look at all the stat accolades skill. Jordan was not as good of a player that he was in the 90s compared to, I don't care what stats you put up. And I believe he has improved. And I think that's what we should start adding to a criteria when it comes to top 10. How much did players improve? Look at LeBron from the first run of Cleveland to the second Heat. Then that second run in Cleveland, he became a better version of a player than he was. Like, I feel like we don't talk about that enough too. Player improvement over their careers. Look at Steph Curry from 73 and 9 team. He's a way better player than from that time. But nobody talks about that. People just want to go off the peak, get what you want to make to push a narrative. That's it. But I'll let Spiffy go. I know we've been rambling. And Tyson voice.
Spiffy, what's good, man? I dropped the link, y'all, if y'all want to pull up.
What's good with y'all? What's good?
Spiffy?
What's up with y'all? I was just checking out the conversation. I feel like it was dope for real. But I had put my top 10 in the chat.
I must have missed it. Damn.
Yeah.
What is it, Spiff?
I had Jordan, LeBron, Kareem. I think I had Magic. Yeah, I had Magic at 4. I think I had Duncan at 5. Yeah, I had Duncan at 5, Shaq at 6. I had think I had Curry. Yeah, Curry. I think it was Curry. I think somebody before Curry, but Curry was 7. Number 8 was damn, I'm geeking, yo. I think it was Kobe. Yeah, it was Curry, Kobe, and then my 10th was Jokic. But I wanted to ask Lamont, what I wanted to hear your argument about Giannis. Like what made you put him top 10?
So let me pull it up here. Because I know Giannis was the one, and that's why I specifically said with Giannis, he's the one that's the fringe guy. When I look at my fringe guys, my guys that's just right there on that borderline, he's approaching that 10 spot. So whoever you got at 10, Giannis is on their neck. And so it depends. So it kind of depends who you got at 10. If you got a cupcake at 10, Giannis is going to walk him down. If sometimes you got Kobe at 10, it's going to be a little bit tougher to crack. It's going to take you got to fight a little bit harder if you think you're going to just walk in the top 10 passing Kobe. But here, this is what I have for Giannis right here.
Lamar, why you looked that up? Do you think Giannis got a better case than Jokic to make it the top 10?
No. Jokic and Steph has the best case. Jokic has the next best case, and Giannis has a case to be that guy that just cracks the top 10, maybe at that 9-10 spot, depending on who you have. What I had for him, I got Giannis's impact, statistical profile, and when I compare him to other legends, it says, how did I stack him up against the other people in my top 10, like Larry Bird and Hakeem Olajuwon? Well, it got, Bird was an offensive player, 3 MVPs, 3 rings, probably a little bit harder for Giannis to pass him. Giannis 2 MVPs, 1 ring, still a bit raw in the accolades. However, Giannis has the DPOY, consistent all defensive team selection, something Bird never had. Being arguably the best defender in the league for multiple years. Right, Bird made defensive teams, but he was never known as the league's best defender. He was just known to be average to below average defender in most cases. And I was surprised to hear that because a lot of people talk about him being a good defender until I heard an announcer say it in the game. When the announcer in the game said Jordan and Bird were both bad defenders. And that was in a game that during a live broadcast. And, so I got Giannis, just a lot of the defensive things are the things that's going to propel him. I think for Giannis, my biggest case was to bump Hakeem Olajuwon out, and Giannis would kind of take his spot. I think Olajuwon's downfalls in the playoffs, when you look at statistics across the board, they're either equal or Giannis is superior to him in most statistical categories across the board. I think the only thing that Hakeem right now has over Giannis is a little bit of longevity, because Hakeem's longevity, or at least his time as a top tier player in the league, was about 10 years. Giannis is about year 8 of being a prime player,
like 9.
So 8 or 9. So at the end of the day, if Giannis, which we all know he will, Giannis is going to usurp him in years of high level dominance. After about another 2 or 3 years, I don't think there's much left that he needs to pass Hakeem in. He's already matched him in most things. All right.
The crazy part about it, what you just said, is the only reason why I still got Giannis over Jokic, because Jokic is like on a 5-year stretch of being dominant. Giannis is on like year 8 or 9. That's the only reason why I still. But Jokic's resume is crazy. That 5-year stretch is crazy.
Yeah, his resume, he can, like I said, if he retired today, his resume just outdoes 99.9% of people who ever hoop.
Is it because of the accolades or his play stat accolades? Like,
shit, I'll say both.
It's both.
Yeah, because I would say like his resume with like the basic awards is like nice, but if you really look up like his stats, his efficiency, and like the numbers he put up when he played, I look more. Yeah,
offensive win shares.
That's ridiculous. I'm sorry.
He's number 1 in all that shit.
No, Jokic's crazy.
Olo, we got you in here. What you got on this?
I do feel like Jokic has one of the highest chances of hitting the top 10. He has to do a little more, obviously, to break the top 10, but I think he has the potential to be top 3 or top 5.
You said Jokic needs to do more?
Just a little bit more to get past top 10. Like, if he wants to get to the 8, 9, or even the 10th spot, he has to do just a little bit more. And by a little more,
who are the players that like 8, 9? Like, who are the players like for you? Who are the players at your 8, 9 spot?
It's at the end of that is Curry, Bird. Those are my
Because-
last two.
Because when you look at his resume, let me tell you this resume: 3-time MVP, potentially 40 this year.
Yeah.
Right.
6
One of nine
All-NBA.
players in NBA history with 3+ MVPs. There's only 9 players in NBA history with that many MVPs: Kareem, Jordan, LeBron, Wilt, Russell, Magic, Bird, Moses Malone. Obviously a Finals MVP, champ, 6-time All-Star, 5-time All-NBA first team, 1-time All-Second team. When you look at his statistical averages, he's averaging 20 and 10 on his career, 60% true shooting, plus 25 PER, one of the highest win shares in NBA history, one of the highest box minuses in NBA history. He has one of the greatest peaks in NBA history statistically, averaging 27 points per game on 14 rebounds. Yeah, I mean, I don't know who
I got him as
at your
12 in my all-time. I got him like 11th or 12th in my all-time ranking.
and it's saying right here he had statistically the greatest NBA Finals run in playoff history, arguably, averaging 30 points per game. Yes, it's saying right here it's his first to ever average 30, 10, and 9 in a single postseason. 30 points per game, 13.5 rebounds, 9.5 assists. He almost averaged a triple-double in an entire postseason run. That was the 2023 playoff run.
When he won, right?
Yeah. It was arguably, and then he did it on 63% true shooting.
You know what rebuttal? Go ahead.
I don't know, but Jokic resume.
It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
Stat wise, play wise is ridiculous. It's better than his the MVP accolades. Like his play stat accolades is like off the charts, bro.
Yeah. But you know what the rebuttal will be to that though? For most people, they'll say that it was I'm sure you heard this millions of times. It's one of the worst playoff runs in NBA history. He didn't had no competition. Even though he played AD, he played Gobert, he played Cat. But they're gonna say that's one of the weakest playoff runs.
Because people go off of names instead of looking like how these teams play.
But remember what I said, I don't tax you on things you can't control. He can't control. I can't tax him if he can't control. Like if he can hand select all his opponents and he selected bombs and he beat a whole bunch of bombs, okay. He can't control it though.
That's why I say with mine, I'll tax you, but I'm being subjective with it. Like I'm gonna look and understand what happened, and then I'm gonna decide which way. That's just me personally.
So,
like perfect example, Lamar, you got a comment from RT to Ben. He was like, Vince Carter played so long, his numbers say he's top 25, and we know Vince Carter. That's why I say you're taxed with the substance from it. Like we
understand. Where did he say that at? I don't see.
It's under the stream. Yeah, like
what numbers say that?
Yeah. And even if they did, we know Vince Carter's career is not a top 25 career. So the substance reason that like he played long, but he didn't accomplish anything. And this is what I mean. This is the purpose of what I mean. Like I'm a tax with substance. So I'm gonna look and see what is going on. So you're gonna say Vince Carter because he played long. You know darn well Vince Carter don't deserve to be in that conversation.
Hold on. What?
His stats is not top 25 anyway, though, by the way. But
hold on. What about his career? Say he's top 25 all time. Because for his career, he averages 16 points per game, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. That's his career.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not talking about peak or none of that. Right? Okay. If you want to say he's 4th all time with the most games played all time, and he didn't even crack the top 20 in points scored all time. He's 21st all time in points scored.
Mm-hmm.
And so when we go there, so really when you look at his accolades, it's not even a stellar list of accolades. He's an 8-time All-Star. I mean, it's a top 75 worthy resume. He's a 2-time, so he's an NBA All-Star, 1999 Rookie of the Year, 2000 Slam Dunk champion, and then he won the Sportsman of the Year in 2020. That's his resume. There's no numbers or no resume. There's no way you can slice up his career and say he's a top 25 player. He's not. He's not close.
He made All NBA 2 years out of his 22-year career.
Yes, he's only an All NBA player twice.
And
He didn't even make the All-NBA team more times than Reggie Miller. Come on, man. No.
Where would
Vince
y'all
is not like that.
Where would y'all put KD?
top 20.
KD's top 20 to me.
Me too.
Now, I have to really look at my list because he might be closer.
He might be 15 for me.
10 to 15 than he is to the bottom of the 20, but
Say 10 to 15.
How we grading Julius Erving? Is the ABA counting or not? Because then, or no?
no, it don't count.
It don't. Okay.
That shit ain't NBA. Sorry, man.
Yeah.
Hold on. I think the NBA merged everything, though, didn't they?
Yeah. No.
I thought the NBA merged all the stats.
Let me see. I don't think so.
I thought I saw something saying the NBA was going to merge all the stats. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yep, they did. They got AB, 2-time ABA champion, 5-time All ABA. Yeah, so they did.
3-time MVP.
3-time MVP. Yep. So they did.
Almost 4-time MVP. He was
now if they merged it and it's official NBA stats, now that changed some things. That changed,
led the
lot.
league in scoring 3 times out of those 5 years.
Yeah, they got it on him now. ABA counts.
Yeah, I thought the NBA did something where they merged ABA because if we now have to count Dr. J's full resume, then old boy earlier who had Dr. J in his top 10 might be accurate.
Yeah, because I'm saying it's a different conversation now.
Especially statistically. I mean, you can do the error text all you want, but 16 rebounds.
Well, T Perfect says, I'm taking Giannis over Bron.
Bruh.
No,
right
he
now,
trolling. He trolling.
Right now or all
he's
time?
Not trolling.
No, he trolling. I'm gonna be real, like it's like I got my camera on, but y'all know I got Jordan behind me. But like you can, like I said, 1 through 3, you can argue Kareem, Jordan, or LeBron. But by far, and you talking about real basketball, skill wise, all around, LeBron James is the greatest player I've seen play basketball, bro. I'm not even gonna hold you. Like real basketball alone, that man is the greatest player to touch a basketball. Even if I say Jordan go off career, Jordan, I'm sorry, that man is the greatest player to ever touch a basketball. Period. He do everything on the court and then some.
What do y'all think? You think he got a shot to win this year?
Yeah, and that's crazy, bro. He's doing that.
Oh, win what?
The Lakers. Yes.
To win the chip. To win the chip.
Yes.
Hell yes.
Which is crazy to say he shouldn't, but he got that vibranium, man. That man Black Panther stuff, bro. I don't know what's going on.
You put Luka on the same team with LeBron? The hell? Of course they got a chance to win.
The IQ though, that's another reason why LeBron is the greatest he is too. That IQ off the charts, bro.
Bias. I don't want to seem biased because like Luka is like my favorite player now, and Bron was one of my favorite players before Luka came in the league. So it's like I'm kind of biased to them. I'm biased to them, but I keep my thoughts to myself. You know,
you biased with a purpose though, because they could legit do it. I would not want to play the Lakers, and the Lakers are the Warriors. I do not want to play them, bro.
I don't give a fuck
right now.
I don't give a fuck if you is Oklahoma.
Do you know LeBron and Luka are both good as hell. When this trade happened, every LeBron James hater in the world
got quiet,
mad as hell at the Dallas Mavericks, and man, I'm talking about, man. There's a reason why they say this is the worst trade in NBA history. Because if LeBron is on the downside, he ain't that good. Then why does this trade bother anybody?
That man
but Lamont, they also some old heads that hate LeBron also became Maverick fans. You heard them up here saying the Mavericks gonna win because Anthony Davis played defense.
Oh yeah, they was gassing up Anthony Davis talking about the Mavericks is nice now. I said, man, if y'all don't stop,
come on.
But
now.
It's crazy because they got 2 of the injury-prone players like that don't never finish the season. They got Kyrie and AD, so it was like.
Bro, they ran Kyrie to the ground, bro. They got Kyrie hurt, bro.
Yeah, it was good on paper, but that's fucked up what they did to Kyrie. I feel bad for that man, for real. I feel bad for that man because he was supposed to like finish this year out strong.
I know them haters hated that. I mean, happy that Kyrie got injured because they was gonna have to eat crow from all that smack talk they were talking about Kyrie. They were trying to wither him out the league, and he will hoop. He had a great season.
I ain't gonna lie, I want him to lose because they were saying we were saying that he need LeBron in order to win. So if he the one with Luka, I'd have been like, damn.
I mean,
Luka can't replace AD. AD can't bring
I mean,
Luka
but
value.
Luka's a number one. Like Luka
yeah,
is kind of like
he
LeBron
is
in a sense. Like
Bron.
Ain't no
But
He
contest.
LeBron been begging for it. LeBron been begging for the number one option since the end of the Cleveland run.
And Luka is him.
And Luka is him. He been how you supposed to be? Imagine I'm from Chicago, so I cap for AD all the time because I want AD to be great from the city. But LeBron been begging you the whole run to be the number one. How you a superstar player and another player say I'm willing to take a back seat for you, take over the team, but he couldn't do it because he kept getting injured, obviously. But even when he was there, it wasn't like it still was like LeBron had to be the number one for them to get to a championship point.
Yeah, and it's crazy that it seemed like they play way better defense without AD. That sound
Ain't that
crazy.
crazy?
That sounds
It's
crazy,
crazy,
yeah.
but it's facts though. They play way
true.
That's true.
defense.
They
It was
more
killing.
consistent.
Yeah, they was killing. What's his name? Lamont. What's your man name that was saying that about AD?
What
Johnny,
team?
No, he be on the stream all the time.
B
Johnny.
Lee? Or you talking Johnny with the dreads? Or Johnny?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they was killing him when he first said it, but like proof in the
Nah.
put, they definitely play way better
Yeah,
defense.
aged well.
Yeah. If AD was just, but I understand why he didn't want to play center because he get hurt a lot. But if he would have just stuck to playing center and just accepted that because he's a today's era center, I think the Lakers defense could have still been like elite and he could have done everything. But he don't want to play center. He want
I
to
don't
play
like him
four.
as I don't like him as center.
Yeah, but his skill set, he could be excellent at center in today's era. But
Yeah.
Who you talking about? Who you talking about?
AD. But he don't want to play center. I think the Lakers would have been better all around defensively if AD would have just accept playing center, but he don't want to because LeBron played the four now too.
No, AD was right. See, the problem is AD at the 5 is bad because all you can do with him at the 5 is put him in drop coverage.
Right. I hate.
So the problem with him at the 5, and the thing is, it's just like, so here's the problem. They had to play him at 5 because if you put him at the 4 and you bring another 5 in, well, now you got 2 guys in shooting less than 30% from the 3. So now you become easier to defend.
Right.
So end of the day, you have to be like, you're gonna have to suffer through this shit. We'll figure the drop coverage out. But the reason why they was getting cooked so much is because they were staying in drop coverage. I mean, every play, every play, and it was just you getting
for real.
That's why every night. And I don't know. Think last year, y'all. Remember last year, the last 2 years. Didn't it feel like every guard could get off on the Lakers over the last?
Yeah.
And it don't matter who it was. I'm talking about.
It matter who it was.
You could be playing a team that's rebuilding, tanking, and it'd be some dude coming out the G League. All of a sudden, he getting all this drop coverage attacks. He didn't went crazy.
Bronny would have had a career night.
And it's just everybody was cooking. And it's just like
crazy on that.
Yeah. And it's just like I was saying to myself, I'm like, why? Like, and I didn't really figure that. The crazy thing about it is I didn't even really recognize it until Johnny brought it up. But
yeah, he was on point.
It was AD in that drop, man.
But I don't think he should have been the only blame of that though. When you had niggas like D'Lo and Reeves and Hachimura not fighting off of screens, going under screens and shit like that. I don't think that AD should have been the only person to blame.
The problem with drop is that I don't care how hard you fight over a screen. If you allow De'Aaron Fox to turn the corner and get into the lane every time, it's only so much D'Angelo Russell and Austin Reeves can do when you just sitting and drop, inviting guards to just walk into the lane and go make a play.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell you supposed? That's why the only person that seemed like he could make a difference was Vandy. And when Vandy was hurt, everything really hit the fan.
Yeah, I like this team defensively way better than with AD. I can't lie. Like, we got a shot to win every game, like, and we can close them. Like, we was always in the game with AD, but now we really can close them.
And look how the ball move on the offensive end now.
Way
more. On the offensive end, you see how AD was now a ball stopper.
Do y'all think it's a better third option in the NBA than Austin Reeves?
I mean, you want me to be since rap
Hell
guy complaining in the chat we ain't got no hot takes. I was definitely commenting. Like, good basketball conversation is better than hot takes. We got too hypnotized with that. Like we got to say something crazy. But here you go, rap guy. No, Montes Buzelis is the best third option for my Chicago Bulls. There you go. I'm taking him.
He
all
been
day.
cooking. He been cooking.
Look at these idiots. Norman Powell.
Yeah,
y'all done ran with that.
No, Norman Powell.
Hold on. Hey,
How
Lamont,
about
you
Porzingis?
know where they getting that from, right?
Yeah, Gil's Arena.
No, it was what's his name? Lou Will, and
that was Lou Will.
Chandler Parsons. His stealing ass stole $100 million on there talking about Norman Powell better than Austin Reeves. I don't believe it. He nice, you feel me? But
he having a good year.
yeah, I like Austin Reeves. Like that white boy, he got it. I can't lie. Like he got game.
Norman Powell. I'm not taking him over no Austin Reeves.
Why is that, Lamont?
Bro, I don't know how to explain it. With like Austin Reeves, I think the biggest separator to me is Austin Reeves' playmaking. I think Norman Powell as a scorer, they're comparable. But now that Austin Reeves is a far superior playmaker, I think that's the biggest difference. And defensively, I just think Reeves just gives way more. I just think he just gives way more energy on the defensive end. Like, say what you want about him. I don't see Norman Powell out there being this defender. Everybody's going to say he's a better defender, but
I think
Reeves is just a better player all around.
I think he's a better one-on-one defender, but that's about it.
I think it would look way different if he was the third option with Luka and Bron than with Norman Powell. Like, I like Austin Reeves because, like, when he got the ball, like, everybody kept saying, LeBron ain't going to play off the ball. He going to mess it up, all this and all that.
Because they wasn't watching?
LeBron, he really, like, I like how he could play off the ball and they save him. Like, they basically use him for when we really need him. They don't run him in the ground no more. Like, and that's why I like Austin Reeves with the ball and Luka. Like, LeBron gonna be there in them close playoff games this year. That's gonna be the difference with Austin.
Pat Bell dropped his top 5 third options. Obviously, Austin Reeves number 1, but we talking about it. Just him. You rather have Kyle Kuzma or Austin Reeves?
Austin Reeves.
Norman Powell or Austin Reeves?
Austin Reeves.
Mikal Bridges or Austin Reeves?
Austin Reeves.
What about Porzingis?
Kristaps Porzingis. He was next. Kristaps Porzingis or Austin Reeves?
I'm taking Porzingis.
Hold on.
That's where it ends right there.
I'm taking Porzingis.
I was going to say.
He said I'm taking Porzingis.
I'm not a dummy.
Spiffy.
You know why I'm saying?
The only separator is the contract.
Right?
That's the only separator.
Yeah, I was going to say
Austin Reeves, right, Lamont? Because he rarely be available like that. Like, I don't know if we could depend on that. You feel me? Like,
this next name might cause controversy because I think this year he played his way into the number 2 slot only because their number 2 player been injured a lot.
Give it to me.
But J-Dub or Austin Reeves?
Who is J-Dub?
Jalen Williams of the Thunder. Because Chapman now. I think he played like a number 2 this year.
I gotta go Jalen.
I don't know if J-Dub is a number 3 though.
Yeah,
number 2.
Yeah, he's more of a number 2.
Okay, so then it'd be Chet then. Chet or Austin Reeves?
Chet.
I'm taking
Chet.
You gotta take Chet.
I'm talking about.
You gotta take Chet. You gotta take Chet.
But I'm talking about
not being biased.
I'm talking about with this team though. I know the player for player that he better than Austin Reeves. But
Chet go crazy on the Lakers right now. He's on the Lakers.
You tripping?
But
Chet go crazy on the Lakers.
But who gonna help them out? Get other players involved.
That's LeBron and Luka just gonna have to do it.
Yeah.
But you couldn't even be mad if the only 2 players we can really definitively say are Porzingis and Chet. That's still good.
That's still good. I'm gonna say that I got 2 more. 3 more. Michael Porter Jr.
Ooh, Reeves.
Oh hell no, Reeves.
Draymond Green.
Reeves.
Last
not
one.
for this team. Not for this team. But if it was on any other team,
people that call Draymond trash.
For this team, you need Reeves. You need shooting.
I know I wasn't gonna do Evan Moore. I know somebody said Evan Moore in chat, but no, last one, Desmond Bain.
Reeves.
I was trying to. I wasn't trying to do too many bigs. That's all I was.
But the gap ain't that big, Lamont, between Bane and Reeves.
Shout out Reeves, because remember Reeves was undrafted, by the way.
You're right. It's not that big.
That's
I'm
still
still
crazy to
taking.
think
I'm
about.
still taking Reeves over Bane.
Yeah. I probably Porzingis
And at the end of the day,
J-Dub.
At the end of the day, Reeves holds more value than all of those guys because of his contract. Because the Lakers only have to pay him $12 million a year, that makes him the most valuable number 3 in the league over Porzingis.
Yep.
Over all these other guys. Like Bradley Beal, you know how much the Phoenix Suns right now, if you could go trade Bradley Beal for Austin Reeves, you know how quick they would do that to get off that nasty contract?
Mm-hmm.
Lakers
So
would
the
be
fact that you're only paying him $12 million a year, he's more valuable than Bradley Beal. I don't care how good Bradley Beal is. Bradley Beal, if you don't go out there and perform like a superstar every night, nobody ever is going to think he's doing his job. So.
Yeah. I have to agree with you on that because, like you said, the money and if you really look at how Bradley Beal played, I think Austin Reeves will bring more value to the Lakers than Bradley Beal. And it's
Bradley Beal's he's stealing money. If you want to call him the Black Chandler Parsons, he's the Black Chandler Parsons.
You can't do that. You can't do that,
bro. He's quit hooping, bro. He's too good at basketball to be this bad.
Yeah,
yes.
I feel like it's the Sun system or something. Like I feel like they don't know how
to
use
zone too.
Like
is Bradley Beal gonna be able to play make how Reeves been doing?
No,
is he gonna?
The problem Hitman says Bradley Beal
can't play make like
the reason why Bradley Beal wouldn't average 25 because Bradley Beal don't know how to be a 3 option. He only knows how to be a 1 or 2.
The 1 option.
Yep.
That's what he was in Washington.
That's why he's dysfunctional at the 3 because he don't know how to be. See, Reeves comes with the understanding of already knowing how to be a 3. He know how to fit in.
No,
but I don't care if he only get 12 points.
But Lamont, I think the difference between him and them being a 3rd option on the Lakers is you got to be able to play make. You feel me? And I feel like Bradley Beal, he not a playmaker.
He ain't
so
on Reeves level. Nope.
I feel like on the Suns, Austin Reeves would be a better 3rd option because he could play make. He could set up KD. But you feel me? I feel like that's the difference between them. Like,
he definitely will help the Suns for sure.
And then you think LeBron and Luka finna just let Bradley Beal jack up 4-5 extra shots just to get in rhythm before he gonna score 25? No, we're not doing that.
His ass be coming off the bench. I'm telling you.
My biggest question for a 3rd option, and you got to ask this about Reeves too, is always ask, what are you doing when you don't have the ball? And that's where Reeves has improved the most this year.
He moves.
You can still feel his impact on both ends of the floor with and without the ball. I think Bradley Beal, the only way you see his value ever is with the ball. He's not going to be great off ball. He's not going to be.
Nope.
He's not going to give effort on the defensive end.
Oh no,
and that's the problem with Bradley Beal. So
sad part is this is probably the most defensive effort I've seen from him.
I like Delta play on that team too. Like Luka take control at the beginning, then Austin Reeves come on, and then LeBron closed the show. I like that. I like that. I ain't gonna lie.
Hitman X, you trolling, by the way. Keep going.
No, like he's Austin Reeves probably not a better basketball player, but you talking about a 3rd option situation. I'm taking Austin Reeves all day over Bill because of what he brings to the table. Bill is like on his mellow Rockets run, a Thunder run, where it's like he's really know he's a great player, but he can't fit. That's the only problem. You know he's a great player, but he just can't fit.
Right. Yep. I like him with Tyus Jones at the 1 as a 3rd option.
Tyus Jones, he's nice. Yeah. But don't worry about it. It's over with though. It's the last time we see a KD in the Suns jersey. So,
well, he did say he was open to staying in Phoenix, but I don't know if he's gonna stay though. It depends on what they do in the offseason.
I don't see nothing they really can do.
Who, the Suns?
Whoa, the Suns. Yeah, Hitman said you should trade Book over Bill. Is crazy.
Well, no, hold on.
Wow.
Hitman is right. I'm gonna tell you why Hitman is right.
Okay.
Because it's like the Anthony Davis effect. Because I actually said this. I said this to Go James Kingdom. I forgot who I was talking to. It was the beginning of the year, but it was kind of in reverse. They was like, "What do the Lakers need to do to get better?" what I said was, I said the only way the Lakers get better is you got to trade LeBron. Because like one of the top two guys got to go, so you can bring in the pieces you need. You can't just keep swapping bottom tier guy for bottom tier guy, hoping to get some type of diamond in the rough or some shit. So I think for the Suns, you can't trade Bill because you're not gonna get no value for him.
Mhm.
I mean, the only asset they have where you can completely overhaul that team and still be competitive is
Booker, yeah.
Only way.
But what? I'm trying to think what team will make that call.
Yeah. And B for Booker?
If y'all was a GM, would you trade Zion?
I would have traded Zion last year. I would have been traded.
Hell no, I'm not trading him.
No, I wouldn't trade him either.
Keep Zion.
No, I just think it's more of the team thing, not just a Zion thing. Personally, I think it's time for them to rebuild. They just all the experiments that they're trying to do is not working. Because now you just let Ingram go. Now you got to get rid of CJ. Murray ain't really working out. So what's keeping Zion gonna do?
So if I was them, I would trade. I would try against Zion.
Keep building around Zion. Why not?
I mean, the Pelicans got a nice little core though with him, Trey Murphy, and Herb
I like
Jones.
Herb
They got
Jones.
a nice
Yeah.
little.
And that rookie, Micey, whatever his name is.
But the same thing y'all said about Booker, who got the most trade value on their team. And Zion's ain't even that high as it should be, but it's Zion. Dejounte Murray don't. CJ McCollum definitely ain't got no trade value.
Whatever the Suns do, they cook. Whatever the Suns do, they cook.
New Orleans wasn't even healthy at all this year, so we got to see.
The Suns have an out. The Suns have an out, but
what's the out?
What's the out, Lamont? Because I don't see it.
I got to trade Book. Book is the only out. That's
I don't see them getting rid of Book though.
You think they'd trade Book before they trade KD?
No, but Lamont said, look, I don't think so, but Lamont think that's the only one that makes sense. But heck, now they already said they ain't trading Book, but we see Luka get traded, so anything can happen.
Yeah,
but Luka got traded on a
we ain't surprised no more.
Yeah, it was some under the table stuff going on with Luka getting traded.
I mean, that should have got investigated by the NBA.
Embiid might be going next. Embiid might be going next.
No, I don't think. No, the fact that Bill was able to get a no trade clause in Washington, that need to be investigated. Because I don't know.
He was going crazy when he got it though. He did.
He averaged 30 points, but he ain't make the playoffs until Russ showed up. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
And they came out to play.
Russ showed up and then had to carry him in the playoffs on a tear.
You feel me? Like, I understand
he
signed that he signed that contract before him, but like just still like him being one of the untouchables basically in the NBA right now is crazy.
Because Phoenix would have definitely moved them this year if they could, but that man said, "No, I'm good. I don't feel like moving." Also, Lamar, you
milking the shit out of that too, bro. He proud about it too.
Yeah, Lamar, you did say Russ was top 5. Who's your point guards? Who's your other 4?
That too though.
Wait, who said Russ is their top 5 point guard?
I said Russ is the top 5 point guard of all time. It will be Curry, Magic, Russ, Oscar, and shit. I would have to go with probably.
It gotta be Zeke. Over J Kidd and Zeke.
Hell yeah, I got them both. CP3 better than both of them.
Oh, I don't know about Kidd.
Wait. CP better than who?
Y'all forget how good CP3 was.
CP in New Orleans with David West.
CP was a dog. Never gonna deny that.
My man CP3, like he not like that. He like that.
Jason Kidd was like that too.
Because CP3 in his prime was one of the defensive players in the league and offensive players in the league.
Yeah, he right about leading the league in steals.
I think the defensive side was kind of like, but it's not necessarily to his fault because his size, but a little overhyped. Because I definitely see D. Will used to put him in the blender all the time. That was a fun time to watch him and D. Will go at it though. By the way, too.
Yeah, they was bad. That was a showdown.
Man, injuries ruin so many players' careers. That's like when you think about it, like from the old days to like even current day, present day, like injuries done took a lot of good basketball away from a lot of players for real.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I was sitting up there watching Brandon Jennings talk, and he was saying that he was better than players. He was nice, you feel me? But I don't got him over no Stephen Curry if he was still healthy. Hell no.
No, yeah, no. Hey, Lamar, I don't know. I'm re-looking back at this. Man, I'm a little biased with Kid too, so I'm gonna be real about it. But no, I don't know. CP3 can't be over Kid. Kid was different at a point in time.
Man, I'm telling you.
Based on what?
How he played? What are you talking about? How he played? And he led
I mean, give me something. Give me resume. We go resume for resume.
So did CP3. CP3 got to the
Okay.
final.
10-time All-Star, NBA champ. I don't really NBA champ. He was either older, all rookie team, 9-time all defensive team,
Yep.
a 6-time All NBA, 5-time assist leader, NBA top 75. I ain't counting no sportsmanship award, but he was nice. And then finish in the top 10 MVP 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5 times in his career. And it was in the MVP conversation his rookie season.
What's his stats? What's his stats?
Career wise, it dropped because he had that old run.
I got him right here.
His career is like 13, 6, and 8. 13, 6, and 9.
12, yeah, pretty much 36 to 9.
And 2 steals, and two steals too.
No, you know that last little Dallas and New York run killed this.
Yeah. That's what killed.
But it still count because he played.
Hold on. Here it is right here. I'm gonna give you the real stats because he's not breaking it down right.
What you talking about? I broke it down.
Chris Paul got 12 All-Stars, Jason Kidd 10.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Paul got 11 All-NBA selections. Jason Kidd got 6. Chris Paul got 9 defensive team selections. Jason Kidd has 9.
It's tied.
They both were rookie of the year.
Right.
Chris Paul was the assist leader 5 times. Jason Kidd was the assist leader 5 times.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Paul was the steals leader 6 times. Jason Kidd was the steals leader twice. They both are on the top 75. And when you go to stats, they both have played 19 seasons. Chris Paul's still counting. Chris Paul's points per game 17.5 to Jason Kidd's 12. Chris Paul's average for a career 9.4 assists per game to Jason Kidd's 8.7.
Hold up.
Jason Kidd is second all time in steals. Chris Paul is third. And when you go to rebounds per game, the only thing that Jason Kidd does better essentially to Chris Paul is he averages 2 more rebounds per game and 6 a game to Chris Paul's 4.5.
I think Jason Kidd better passing them too.
Ooh.
I'm gonna be real with you. I think Jason Kidd, besides Jason Kidd, LeBron James are the 2 greatest passers of the basketball all time to me. That's just
man. Me. And Chris Paul, because you might give him passer, but I give you Chris Paul might be the best floor raiser in NBA history. He took an OKC team. Some of the teams he can carry.
Point guard. Say point guard.
I'm saying.
Hold on, no. Look at how he instantly went to the Suns. They in the finals. Instantly went to OKC. They in the playoffs. He did what single-handedly at OKC what nobody thought could be done. Get him to the
Rockets. Hey, Lamont, you forgot the Rockets. 65 games.
They rid him
come on, man.
When he went to OKC.
No, I respect it. I think it's close, but
I don't know. I mean,
it's close though. It's you say Chris Paul, not mad. Whoa.
It's not close, bro. Y'all overrate the shit out of Jason
Not
Kidd.
close. Chris Paul in his prime was a better offensive player.
And defensive player.
Facts.
All right, I can't go.
Hold up, Lamont.
Offense really just shoot. He just shoot better than Kidd.
Why is CP the better defensive player than Jason Kidd, Lamont?
He's just better. Chris Paul in his prime was just a better defender.
He's too small.
Ranking J Kidd. Yeah. And y'all just.
Oh my God. Y'all ain't watch Chris Paul back in his prime, yo. Y'all.
No, he was nice.
He was nice defensively, but wasn't Kidd more versatile as a defender, especially later in his career?
So Lamar, by your logic, is Allen Iverson the better defender because of the steals?
No,
I'm
it's
not
not
using the steals to say that he's
I
better
thought you
defender.
said
We want to know. We want to know why is CP the better defender, though?
Yeah.
If it ain't steals, what is it? It definitely ain't one-on-one.
Ball, I feel like
He's just a better on-ball defender, better in the pick and roll, smarter.
On-ball defender, like to me.
No, I'm not mad at it, but I can't do it.
Because out of like this. Hold on, Lamont. When J Kidd was coming up and then it was in the league, he didn't have a lot of offensive guards that was coming back at him like a Darren Williams. Like you said, Darren Williams and him used to battle all the time. Like he had to deal with a Russell Westbrook, a Stephen Curry, like he got to deal with these all the time. when J Kidd was in the league, who
Mhm.
was coming at him night after night after night after night? Like
Point
who
guard
was
or,
that?
Point
or
guard
guards in
wise
general?
or guards in general?
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about point guards. Point
Oh.
guard.
Oh.
Allen Iverson, Steve Nash,
Yeah. Parker.
Keep
Tony
going.
Parker.
Keep going.
Tony
That's
Parker,
Chris Paul. That's
a
Chris
prime
Paul.
Stephon Marbury.
That's
Marbury.
Chris Paul era.
Steve Francis.
They was in the same era. Baron Davis,
That's not the
John
same era.
Stockton.
It's not
Hell
the
no, that's not the same
That
era.
ain't the same era, dude.
Jason Kidd was in there
Jason
with
Kidd came in the 90s. Jason Kidd
Yeah.
came in
Yeah,
the league,
he
what,
came in-
90 what?
Gary Payton.
But he was
came
in
there
his
with
prime
Gary
in the
Payton,
2000s.
Kevin Johnson, all them. He was with them. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Jason Kidd played from 94, and
Right.
his best years in the NBA where he was an MVP caliber player
It was the
was
early 2000s.
97
Early 2000s.
to
Yeah.
2000 what 4-5.
We're gonna say 99.
Yeah,
So
y'all, all the years y'all named was
06.
Look, and that
It's
was
really
Chris
06,
Paul's
07.
second year. Listen, that was Chris Paul. Matter of fact, that was Chris. Yeah, that was Chris Paul's second year. He came in 04. You feel me? Darren Williams and them came in after the 2004, 2005, around that time. So all these guards that was coming back at him, like the Steph Currys, like I said, I don't think he could have dealt with them like how how Chris dealt with them. I don't think so.
But no, you both had good people going against him, but because he
Bro,
still got.
hold on. How about you just go off what's in front of you, man? The stats, the accolades, the resume is just far superior, man. Stop it, man. There ain't no game you remember from that far back then that could justify it, man. You don't remember. You can't clearly remember no Jason Kidd game.
What team on the level that Chris Paul carried that the Nets was?
You said
That-
who?
What team on the level that Chris Paul carried, like Jason Kidd carried the Nets was?
Well, this was
That Houston Rocket team.
the Houston
With James Harden?
They New Orleans.
Hell yeah. They only lost because CP3 got hurt.
Yeah, that's literally the only reason
They was gonna take out the Warriors.
They was
gonna
gonna
take out the Warriors.
too.
And the only reason why the Nets ain't winning champs because they ran against Shaq and Kobe.
You
No,
can
no.
say Clippers.
The Warrior team better.
Do you remember what Chris Paul was doing with the Clippers?
Yeah.
Lamont, people gonna fight
He
you
was
about
nice.
that. You just said, but
What did you say?
he said the Warriors team was better than the Lakers, than Shaq and Kobe Lakers.
They-
Gonna fight that.
But that was the one with KD, right?
Yeah, that was 17.
Yeah, they was.
The
They was.
17,
Just be
18,
honest about it. They
the
was.
17-18 Warriors. Yeah,
That's the greatest team put together, bro. They was. That's
Hold
the
on,
best.
he says, without mentioning longevity stats, you can't make an argument for Stockton being a top 5 at his position. There is no other player who's top 5 at their position that can rely on. But Stockton is more than just longevity stats. He's still one of the best passers of all time. I mean, you can't take it away from him. I don't care how long he played. He can still pass the ball.
yeah. We just gonna keep it at passing, Lamont. Don't say defender, please.
No, hold on. No, John Stockton was a good defender.
Shit.
I mean, for how they allowed you to defend in the 90s with the illegal defense, I mean, it's like, again, I can't punish him because he didn't have to go up against stellar point guards every night.
Thank you.
But he was a hellified defender, even though he had to just defend the Muggsy Bogses of the world and shit.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
He did clamp them motherfuckers up. He didn't clamp everybody, but he did clamp up who he needed to. I mean, the NBA was just soft at the point guard spot back then.
Yeah. They was dumping down to the big man back then. They wasn't cutting niggas up. They wasn't.
Okay.
Bro, I put a short on my channel, bro. Joe Dumars hit Michael Jordan with the slowest,
weakest
most raggedy
crossover.
crossover I've ever seen.
That wasn't even
Jordan
a
went
crossover,
flying.
man.
So you would have thought, bro, man, you would have thought it was a reincarnation of Allen Iverson or something.
That
The way
wasn't even a
Jordan jumped
crossover.
and almost fell and shit. It wasn't even a cross. He just dribbled. It's a hard dribble.
If he never got injured at the point guard spot, they'd have been in the top 5. I believe. Derrick Rose.
Oh, for sure.
Boy.
If he never took that drastic injury, bro.
He'd been the best point guard of all time.
Bro,
Uh,
the way he played,
Oh,
I
that.
always would tell myself it was a matter of time for the way he played.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he
Nobody.
just jumped off. Like when he
And
every time he jumped, you go like, man, he jumping
I
hard
had
as
went
fuck.
back watched like I was in
Mhm.
the moment when he was playing, and I wasn't really. I was watching him, but I went back and watched him. I'm like, that nigga was on. He was on
Yeah.
some. He was
Yeah.
great. He was on some.
11 D Rose is
Bro, they saying Steph going crazy right now. I'm looking at the box score.
Yeah, he had 19 in the first. I was watching.
Mhm.
Steph got 50 on 12 or 20 from the 3. 10,
Huh?
10 rebounds, 8 assists.
Steph got 50 right
Hey.
now. Jesus. But no,
50
Lamont.
with,
In the
Lamont-
first.
50 with a minute to go in the game. The Warriors are up 5. It looks like he's going to just stick on 50, but he damn near got a 50-point triple-double.
But Lamont, am I crazy?
This
for
his
saying-
first game back from injury, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, that's crazy as hell.
But Lamont, am I crazy for saying is Steph Curry the only player who got better than his MVP version of himself? I think he truly is. Like he's like drastically 2 times a better player than he was during that time. He's still good, but to
No,
be
I can
honest,
agree
You
with
can say
that.
that about Jokic too.
I thought I
You
was
get
the only one that said that.
Bron.
Yeah, you can say that about
you
Jokic.
can say about
Say that
Jokic.
about
Yeah. Bro, every
Jokic really
week,
like he.
yeah.
Go ahead, bro.
Your mic is breaking up. I didn't hear
Yeah, your mic is messing up, D-Reed.
I didn't hear him. I just heard Steph. Yeah.
I thought that was my phone.
Do y'all agree that 22 is Steph Curry's best defensive year of his career?
I have to go back and look.
When the year they beat the Celtics, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's his best defensive year.
Yes. Steph, but yeah, Steph. Any weakness they had about Steph, he fixed it. Like you said, Khalil, you definitely said the strength. He got stronger. He became a better defender. He got better in the clutch. Became a better passer. Came better. Like he literally improved every part of his game. Than his MVP stuff. Like
I told people this 3 years ago, and they said, "Nah, unanimous MVP. Steph is better." I'm like, okay, this Steph it seems better to me than the Pete Curry.
Yeah, crazy. Like if you think about how Steph Curry career started out and where he at today, it's crazy.
Ridiculous.
For him to have ankle problems, how he had, and to be where he at right now and to be one of the best point guards ever to play the game,
if not the best.
Yeah, like
hey, look, I was starting to think he is the best because I said, which is a crazy logic to think, but whatever. I said I think Steph is over Magic to the point where if it's a close debate, and I get Steph to nod because every time I hear somebody make an all-time starting 5, Steph always get picked for the PG, no matter what with the team. So I'm like, if you use that logic when you go to the gym, if you always getting picked up over somebody and both of y'all nice, wouldn't you feel like that's pretty much people saying that person better than you?
Yeah.
Or would there be a wrong logic to go about it about?
No, it's
Well, a lot of the OGs. A lot of the OGs
Steph get picked all the time.
A lot of even with the OGs though, they be picking Magic.
Sometimes, but I think Steph is getting into that point of the category where it's like you would start a team with him. Like he's in that LeBron Jordan category. Like, okay, this is the first person I'm trying to pick if I'm starting a team type category.
Yeah.
Like if you had to draft a team, right? And you can start
Steph
your team
all
with
day.
Magic or Steph Curry. Who you taking?
Steph
Curry.
Because I can build my team any which way with Steph now. I can put anybody.
I'm
with
taking
him.
Steph, bro. I mean, I like Magic, but shit, I get past him somewhere else. Fuck that.
Yeah,
I got LeBron. I don't need Magic no more.
I feel like what make him different is Steph Curry could be effective without the ball. You feel me? Like he could dominate the game without the ball. Like that's what make him different. Like
now, before I was gonna say Magic because like Magic can do everything, score, rebound, and pass, and semi-set screens. But just seeing what Curry can do without the ball, like Spiffy said, and his improvement as a defender and as a passer, I would definitely go with Curry. But it's not.
But low key, Magic is like a cheat code for the point guard because 16. Feel me? Like,
and he rebound and do everything. Yeah.
I'm just gonna put Scottie Pippen on him. Well, look, my point guard ain't gotta.
Now we gonna put Jay McDaniels on him.
Jay McDaniels on him. Look, my point guard ain't gonna guard him. But don't worry, I'm gonna have Steph running around that court though. He gonna be tired, but he get that ball off that inbound.
Yeah, that's why I feel like
what they call Magic Russell Westbrook today.
They would. They would.
Yeah, not
Look.
playing no defense and getting
'Cause
rebounds.
they're gonna leave his ass wide open.
They
Hey,
would.
look.
They would call him a stat pattern.
Hey, what rap guy that he want a hot take? Hey, look, Magic Johnson to be Josh Giddey today. There you go.
That's nasty.
Tall
Josh
point
Giddey
guard.
scored the ball too well, man.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
nasty.
but he rebounded, play make, tall point guard. There you go.
Was
That is
was y'all watching
crazy.
the
Magic
Lakers
Giddey.
game? Was y'all watching the Lakers game when they played the Bulls the other night?
The Kobe White giving them boys work.
That
He
nigga,
bro, Kobe White giving everybody
feet-
work. I was
that
looking
man
at
was that man Josh Giddey was 2 feet from the rim and airballed the floater. That shit was so funny. I was tripping off of that.
and then turn around and hit a half court three.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy, yo.
Mhm.
Bro, as soon as he shot it, I was like, damn, that bitch money. Too.
It did look
Yeah,
good.
That motherfucker was money.
I was watching playback and that nigga Brandon Jennings was so funny when he hit the shot. Yo, that shit was so funny.
Bro, that might be one of the funniest clips I've seen in a long time.
That was so funny, yo.
Because the whole emotional swings of it was crazy as hell, man.
Good.
That shit might be one of the funniest clips I've seen in a minute, man.
He gonna make that a poster and put it on his wall with LeBron up.
I have to. Giddy, we back though.
Hold on, did he really shut the stream down? Because I saw in the clip.
He did.
He did. Yeah, he did.
Turned it right
Man,
You should have known that was gonna happen.
In LeBron's face.
And LeBron threw that terrible pass, by the way. That was
LeBron
terrible.
tricked that whole game off, man. Like, if you go in the locker room, LeBron tricked that game off.
Hey,
bro, he fucked up. He let the nigga the 3-pointer. Then he came back and threw the turnover.
Oh my God!
Then came back and Josh Giddey drained that bitch from half court. I know they was in his ass in the locker room.
I know Reddick was cussing them out in the locker room. I know.
Hey, I know LeBron was on that MJ type of timing. Well, that game had to be fixed. He just gave the ball to Josh Giddey.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, I was telling somebody he'd been better off throwing it in the backcourt, just turning it over. But don't turn it over right under their goddamn rim.
Yeah, that was great. LeBron,
shit.
Hey, LeBron, never do that.
No,
Yeah,
LeBron turnover.
That was a choke. It was funny. If you want to call anything a choke,
that's
that
a choke.
could be defined as
That's a choke.
Yeah.
Now that man choked for real.
Yeah, that was crazy right there.
The Warriors need to stop winning because they're gonna end up playing the Lakers in the first round. Well, I don't know. The Lakers right behind the Nuggets for the third seed.
I want to play them first round.
I want the Lakers and Warriors to be separate.
I want Memphis. I want Memphis. I don't want the Warriors. I want Memphis.
Yeah, I don't want no parts of the Golden State if I'm the Lakers. Ain't no fucking way I want no parts of no Steph Curry.
I'm nervous for the Rockets and the OKC Thunder, even though the OKC Thunder is playing outstanding. And OKC probably got a better chance to win. I think the Rockets going to get put out the first round if they play the Lakers or the Warriors.
Yeah, I'm not scared of Houston either.
Bro, Lakers
they're not ready
both
yet.
them teams.
We gonna have,
I think the Lakers will beat both of them.
This is the thing. We gonna have the best two players on the floor at all times.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't win the series today.
What? Are you crazy?
Do you see what happened when every time we used to play against the Nuggets when we had the two
Bro,
best, even other than Jokic?
No, this different, brother. This is different, brother.
LeBron and Luka can win the series on their own.
Thank you.
Luka can win a series by his damn self.
Thank you.
We seen that
He has before. I said he seen them done.
That's the Clippers. Clippers man.
This is different.
No. I agree. I'm saying just by having the two best players on the court, that ain't gonna win. But this for this scenario, yeah.
This is the difference, brother. AD didn't control the ball. Like, he wasn't somebody that can slow the game down and affect it like Luka can. That's what I mean by we gonna have the two players at all times. Like,
okay, yeah, I agree. Because AD can't make his teammates better like Luka can.
Yes.
Luka needed LeBron to play make to him to be good. I mean, not Luka, but AD needed LeBron.
Yeah, AD needs a playmaker. Luka doesn't.
Right. That's we gonna best play. Like, if we play OKC, we win that matchup with the two best players. We play the Rockets. We got the two best players. We play I feel you, Lamont. We don't want to deal with Steph Curry and them. But I take my chances.
No.
Listen. I'm taking chances.
Barking up the wrong tree. Be careful what you ask for.
Listen, I'm taking my chances with Braun and Luka though. I'm taking my chances. Like
Jimmy and Curry
If
different.
there was any year to want the Warriors, it would be this year because you do have Luka and Bron. And the Warriors right now, they bench look nasty, bro. They don't got shit.
Oh, you know, they
on
bench
that
is atrocious, bro.
and
God
that's
damn.
the average 40 damn points a game. They'll beat us in a 7-game.
Look at this. I'm gonna tell you they bench, right? This is their top 5 guys coming off the bench in this game. G Santos,
B-Pod.
Who?
Quentin Post,
Who?
Looney,
I know Loon. Shout out Loon.
Kevin Knox, Trace Jackson Davis, Pat Spencer, Buddy Hield.
Yuck.
Well, they bench is garbage, bro.
Gary Payton on there.
Bro, look at they starting lineup. Look, they starting lineup had literally they scored 134 points tonight. Curry had to drop 52. Jimmy Butler dropped 27. Green gave 13. Moody gave 10. And Quentin Post off the bench with 9. Buddy Hield with 8. Bro, they so top heavy.
Lamont, I guarantee you that all them 9 points from Quentin was threes.
Let me see. Yep, 3 threes.
I told you. Top of the key.
3 of 9. 3 of 9 from 3.
I told you. That's all you do. Shoot at the top of the key, wide open. Pick and pop.
Same with Buddy Hield. 2 of 7 from 3.
You said, hey Lamont, you said Steph Curry was 12 for 20 from 3.
Yep, 12 or 20.
Okay. Hey,
23s is crazy.
That's crazy. Hey, a quick off basketball topic because I'm only saying I just seen this person. Did you see what they said with Ant-Man? What he finna do? He might change the game. He do this if they let him do it. He's just gonna pay the. He told Shorty that he want to pay the whole 18 years of child support right now. He said just give me whatever the tab is. He's just gonna pay it now.
I thought I've seen NBA players do that before.
I don't think they did, but because when your contract, your money changed, they try to get more money.
But people aren't telling the full story with that.
Oh, of course not.
People trying to make him out to be the bad guy, but she's older. Like a lot of people don't tell her she's like 37. Like she's
like 40, yeah. She's like 39.
Yeah. And she like trapped, like she did some sneaky shit to get pregnant. Like it was some old slick shit. So that's why he not really feeling it.
Like that. I don't like that, bro. Like I don't like. It's like they trapping these niggas. Like I don't like that, bro. Just
Ding,
like
ding, dollar sign.
Drev, you heard when Gilbert was talking about, I used to have in the back seat going crazy. Like I'm like,
yeah, Gil is wild.
No, it was weird. It was weird because she was at the game watching what's his name with her son who's the same age.
That's wild. Women ain't got no more.
LaMelo got a cougar. Jalen Green got a cougar.
Yeah, let's be real. Because you got to call it what the women are. You ever see Alien versus the P? That's how these older women is for these boys. Because if this was man doing it to like millionaire young WNBA players, it'll be a whole different conversation.
Right. They low key gold diggers for real. Like
that's it. They the P word. I don't know if you can't say that word on stream, so I'm not gonna say it. They the P word, bro. For real.
That's why.
D-Reed, you got some noise in your mic, man.
That's why I caught them gold diggers.
Bro. They hawks, boy. They be out the game more than the young girls. So you 40, you trying out there.
Did you see what the football player mom said?
20-year-olds.
They was rubbing their hands like Birdman when they said
the football player mom said she said she know for a fact that it'd be girls and their moms in their living room with big charts on their room with diagrams and trying to map out and plan out how they can get with these athletes and get them pregnant.
Yep.
I said, damn, they turn this shit into strategic, man. They get strategic.
Yeah,
it's like a job for them. It's a job.
All for money.
All for the money. Is what I think they need. I guarantee you, if they make, which is sad for the kids, if they make a law that's saying like, if you say it from the day one you want the kid to get your rights away and you cannot get no money out that person, I guarantee you won't see a lot of kids getting born off for money and gold digger no more.
Such about Shaquille.
All right, Leonard. What up, Lee?
What's going on? Hey, what's going on, Lamar? What's going on, Spiffy?
Chilling, Lee. What's good?
Leonard. But no, I think that if they can make a law for that to stop people from doing that, like you can't use the kid for no money, or if you like, if the dad shows that he can taking care of the kid, you can't get child support because it's crazy how you get child support for the kid come out. Like you didn't give me an opportunity to take care of the kid.
Right. And then the child support is outrageous numbers. Like what? You don't need all that money? What are you
Yeah.
doing? Like,
Yeah, we got to live the lifestyle that we was living. We were never together. You live where you live.
Now I see why more and more men forget having children. Well, that too, but I see why they just refuse to get married and refuse to cohabitate.
Kevin Durant.
I don't blame. Right, I don't blame them. I don't.
KD locked in on that though, but
it's unfortunate, but until family court laws change, this is what's going to continue to happen. But I don't see it changing anytime soon.
yeah, like
The way it's going, it might change soon.
You seen what they did to Amon Shepard?
Yeah, the awful.
Yeah.
They took everything from him, stripped his whole shit.
Which is crazy.
That's crazy. Like, you was not in there with me shooting in the gym
at all.
That is crazy to me.
She used to be just singing on tour and acting and shit.
But she did come out and say it was a lie, but I'm like, I don't know if legal I feel like a lot of people's going straight to the legal documents, man. But
yeah, they're also like, how she taking that much money? She got her own money.
Yeah, her own, right.
Yeah, shouldn't he get a split of her?
The whole actor and the singer.
And then they say he gotta pay. He already giving you child support. Then on top of that, he got paid for that
alimony.
He got paid their tuition every year that they in school. Damn, like I'm already
tuition.
Well, yeah, he got paid their tuition every year that they in school. That's crazy. Like,
hell no.
For real, that's in there.
Did y'all hear about Jimmy Butler's situation like months ago? I guess the woman he had a child with wanted well over $60,000 a month in child support.
That's crazy.
I heard about that.
Yeah, it's
you don't need $60,000
child support is
what costs $60,000 in a month, bro?
Right, like child support is not adult support.
Right.
Yeah.
That was.
I get spousal support. That make most sense. If you were like y'all been locked in for like 20 years, 10, 15 years, and I get that because you've been living a certain way. But nah, bro, you ain't even getting me a chance to take care of the kid yet before you like that's what I don't like.
SB up until recently, learning female nature or modern women nature, I would agree with you. But now for me, it's just get a job, go to work, figure it out.
Yeah,
figure it out. Like I hate it. I hate hearing when women say, "Well, I want to be taken care of." You're an adult. Be a responsible adult. Take care of yourself.
Yeah. Well, if it's cool with that, if it's like you want to be taken care of with like family, with husband, wife, we together.
That part I'm cool with.
Right,
yeah, that's cool.
I'm cool with that, but man, it's just bad, bro. But yeah, like she wanted well over $60,000. And then you hear about this, obviously, with what Ant's going through. I mean, we all know what Tyrese is going through, and Amon. It's just awful, man.
And might win though, because what Shorty messed up at, and I know we probably get back on topic of basketball, but what Shorty messed up at, she tried to move to California last minute, so it was like, oh, it's obvious you just chasing money now.
Yeah,
like,
she tried to move somewhere where the child support laws is crazy.
Got cooked. That's what's wrong. They be too greedy.
That's just nasty. That's overly greedy. That ain't that's past greedy. That's nasty.
This the crazy part. You already messing with a millionaire, right? So you gotta think like nobody's gonna have a child in a crazy environment or just saying that they not really gonna take care of their child. You feel me? Like I feel like they gonna have a good life living, and the parent, whoever they are, gonna be living their life anyway. But now you putting this shit on paper, it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous, bro.
Yeah, it's awful. Lamont, did you guys touch on the whole Grizzly situation with the head coaching change?
I did, but it's just like right now, I don't know what. I mean, to be honest, I don't know what the hell happened. Like, it doesn't make sense. I mean, it's kind of like the Luka trade. It don't make sense. So, like, there's no obvious explanation. At the end of the day, I can only assume something behind the scenes happened that the organization wasn't messing with.
But they have to be that. But I've seen about John Morant not liking the offensive.
Hey, there's no organization in the world that's gonna fire their coach right before the playoffs start because the best player mad.
They won't do that.
Literally.
it's something behind the scenes, like with Luka. Like when they're trying to say we traded Luka because he's fat. That don't even make no sense.
That makes
Yeah,
no
that don't
sense.
make no sense.
Well,
bro.
the Kings did it with Mike Brown.
I was just about to touch on that.
Well, they did because then they traded Fox, so that don't make no sense either.
Maybe this is just me, but
That's what I'm saying. It came if it was Fox, like you can't be shopping Fox, and then Fox comes to you talking about get fired a coach, and you knowing you're going to trade Fox. That's how I know. I think Mike Brown got snaked by his own assistant. I think his assistants was feeding information to the front office, and Doug Christian just snaked his way into the spot.
I always wanted to ask, maybe it's just me, but it just seems as if the NBA more than any other league over the last 5 years have just done coaches like dirty.
Wrong, bro.
Why is that the case?
No coach gets done wrong, man. All the coaches get done right.
They still get
fired. You still get your full paycheck, and you can go get another job. Darvin Ham.
Okay. I agree with you on that premise.
Please don't bring up Darvin's scam.
Just you're good. You're clearly a good coach. Your team is clearly good, but yet you get virtually all of the blame, and you're fired.
That's what you sign up for.
Yeah.
He's a coach. You sign up for it. Shit go wrong. Shit, you the first person they looking at.
I thought
it might not be your fault.
Go ahead. I thought they only said that only happens with LeBron though.
That's what they say, but shit.
Well, yeah.
When shit hit the fan, they coach going like with the Lakers last year. I mean, to really be honest, they probably should have made a big trade over the offseason. But when shit hit the fan, the easiest person to blame is the coach.
Yep, that's the first scapegoat.
I thought about that coach Atkinson, who's with the Cavs now. I felt he never should have got let go. Brooklyn.
Yeah, I didn't like that either. Then they brought in who'd they bring in to replace him?
Steve Nash.
Oh yeah, that shit didn't work.
What was the craziest one to me was the Toronto one. Remember a couple years ago when the guy won?
Casey.
Yeah, he won Coach of the Year, and then they fired. That was
literally the next year.
Yeah, crazy to me. Like that was
next year they won a championship with Nick Nurse.
Yeah, that happened to Avery Johnson when he was coaching Dallas, ironically.
Yeah.
And then didn't Budenholzer get fired from the Bucks?
Yeah.
That's terrible too.
They was all the fans hated Budenholzer for some reason.
That didn't make any sense.
That's who coached the Suns right now, right?
Yeah, and with the Suns,
I got rid of Vogel.
I don't know. Well, yeah, I don't know what's going on with the Suns. I really don't.
They just suck.
Well, yeah. KD gonna be traded again?
I'm hearing stuff saying that he's open to stand. So
who knows at this point? I'm just waiting for the playoffs, honestly.
Yeah, that's all I care about. Fuck this team scandal shit.
Oh yeah, hey, I wasn't on stream when you talked about this, but what did you think about the LeBron and Stephen A. Smith back?
That gay ass shit, boy.
I'm gonna tell you. I think so. Stephen A. Smith is doing a good job of tricking a whole bunch of people. Because what he's trying to pretend is like, so as soon as the incident happened, like this is what we got to start with. Let's just start with understanding that Stephen A. is intelligent. He's not dumb.
Oh no, he's
so here's the problem. What Stephen A. is doing. Stephen A. As soon as Brian confronted him, Stephen A. came out the next day and made it seem like LeBron was confronting him because he was criticizing Bronny. When we all knew, as soon as LeBron confronted Stephen A., the first thing I thought about in my head was that rant he went on his show where he was calling Bron out as a father. I was like, that has to be it, because everybody been criticizing Bronny as a player. Bron ain't said nothing. Stephen A's the only one that's come out publicly and got on Bron as a father. And then Bron came out and doubled down on that and said, yeah, that's the why. And then So all Stephen A's been doing this entire time is he's been trying to sell people on the idea that LeBron is mad at him because he's criticizing Bronny. He keeps running around saying, I never criticized Bronny. And I didn't say, it's just like nobody said that. Like everybody's saying you crossed the line when you started trying to tell him how to parent his kid. And he keeps, the one thing when you listen to him talk, he avoids that. He won't address that. He won't talk about it. He won't even, he'll deflect around it. He won't answer that head on. So right now he's just playing dumb. He got embarrassed in front of the world. And now he's trying to, you know, for when it first happened, he came out and was like, yeah, I work for Disney. I'm not going to do nothing. Then fans ether him on the internet. He talking about, yeah, I'm going to swing on Bron and all this extra stuff. And stuff.
Yeah, that was wild.
Corny. That's all I got to say.
Yeah.
Now, also, but it's crazy you brought like the
he don't need to try to be like, he think that he need to act like this to be cool to us.
Right.
Just like, bro, that shit, like, it ain't like that no more. Like, you can in this day and age, you can literally just be who you are. And we gonna rock with you. Like, you don't have to try to, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He trying to put on his face like, oh, I'm a tough New Yorker. And it's just like, bro, that shit.
Bullshit.
That's that old shit, man. Nobody really, motherfuckers don't act like that no more, man. Stop it.
Right.
What about the Pat? Go ahead.
If Bron would have slapped the shit out that man, he would have sued him. Talking about all this, I would have fought back and get out of here, bro.
After being asleep.
With LeBron 6'9", work out every day.
Yeah, he would have been asleep.
You know what I said on my show, Spiffy? Because you've been out there in the streets in Baltimore. I'm sure you didn't have run-ins, confrontations, and whatnot. I said I would bet my last dollar. And when LeBron stepped in that man and he had LeBron standing at him in his face, that motherfucker Stephen A had the bubble guts, nervous than him. Especially when it just come out of nowhere.
Yeah, this the thing. I wish the camera angle was from we could see his face instead of Bron, like Bron back to the camera and his face to the joint. That's what we'd have seen a real. I know his eyes was big as shit. I know his eyes was like his eyes was wide. I know they was.
They definitely got no other angle. Hold on, let me see.
Hey, Spiff, you know that YouTube channel that the dude, the legend something, where he do like he can read the lips of the players, Legend Z or something like that, and he be putting the subtitles on the bottom to see what they say.
Should them be accurate?
He got
not really.
He got the angle of LeBron with the back turn angle.
Oh, he got.
Yes, because they had a camera on it during timeout. It was a huddle.
I think I found it. Hold on, watch and see if I'm gonna drop the link in private chat if it's it.
The legend.
Oh no, it is a different angle. Oh no, dang, it's only like 2 seconds.
How was his face though, SB?
He definitely was.
His
shocked.
eyes was big.
I know.
Oh shit.
His mouth jacked open.
I know they was. A nigga 6'9" towering over you talking about that's the whole right there.
It's in the beginning, but it's like literally only like 2 seconds of it you gonna see. I got the link in the private chat.
It's gonna show LeBron calling Markieff Morris over there. Be like, hey bro, come here. I'm finna go confront Stephen A, and then they get up. And
that's why LeBron wanted him to be part of that trade. Hey man, bring that Morris swing over here.
Yeah, we need some goons.
Bro. Stephen A just trying to play this tough guy role. It don't suit him well.
No,
it's just kind of cringy.
I get you. I get reasons why you milking it though, because it is LeBron, but he could have milked it differently though.
Hey, he was on. At least he was honest though. He said he's gonna get his ass whooped. He was honest. He told.
See, that's even lame to say too. Like I'm gonna swing on him. No, that's just you trying to. That's still you trying to play tough. Like stop. Like they don't even. Come on, man.
Right, because he wouldn't say that shit in his face. He wouldn't have said none of that.
No, he didn't even say nothing then when he got confronted. He was
You try to use that. No,
bottom lip.
I just signed that contract, man. You know, I can't do nothing.
No, he was genuinely scared. Like when Ron pulled up on him, he was nervous as hell. He wasn't thinking about no contract. He was thinking about not getting beat up. That's what he was thinking about.
National TV.
He
And
can
it's
say all this stuff after the fact, man. That's a lot.
crazy because he always say the players know where I be at. They could pull up on me anytime, any day. And then when somebody finally pull up on you, you sitting up here like you really got something really happening. Oh, he just said get my son out your mouth. Like he could have did way worse. Like
Boy, JJ Redick used to fry Stephen A on First Take. Boy, good God, him and Isaiah Thomas. Now I'm thinking about it.
Nah, he definitely should leave that man alone.
I still don't know why people watch First Take, honestly, or ESPN.
No, First Take is not a bad show.
That's for casuals. That's for casuals.
I'm not gonna say it's a bad show. This is a bad time of year for First Take. I'm gonna put it like that because the playoffs ain't hit yet, so it really ain't much to talk about with basketball as the season winds down. Baseball,
they don't care about baseball.
Baseball ain't really rocking right now. Hockey, y'all don't really address hockey. Football, you can't talk about nothing with football. No WNBA coverage that you can fake and finesse. NCAA tournament ain't hitting like that this year.
It's bad.
So,
it's bad.
It's just like right now, they only thing they got right now is this back and forth with LeBron. They probably try to figure out a way to reintroduce it, get one more little last push out of it.
I'm going to tell you right now how they're doing it. So remember how you brought up how Stephen A deflect everything and just be rambling off? Everybody been back clipping the time when JJ Redick was on the show and how JJ Redick was attacking him and cooking him and
what not just SB, what I just said. What did I just say? What did I just say, SB? He used to fry his ass on First Take.
And that's why one of the first clips they brought up when Stephen A had a point about Russell Westbrook going to the coach meeting when he was with the Lakers, and then all he really said was, "Oh, Russell Westbrook is this great player," and then said something bad about it. And JJ Redick was like, "Bro, you just rambled off some stats and didn't say nothing about the point. What are you talking about, bro?"
Of course, Stephen A don't know how to debate basketball, man.
That's what. Did y'all see Skip Bayless' response to Gil?
No, I ain't see it.
No, I didn't see that.
So Skip, he didn't do a real response. He did a segment in his show as a response. This might be the sorriest response in basketball history on YouTube.
Hey, Lamont, put it on the big screen,
bro. I'm gonna do a reaction to the actual thing myself Thursday. I'm gonna do a reaction to that. It was bad. Like y'all remember when Gil brought up the Larry Bird? I don't know if y'all saw when Gil brought up the Larry Bird article.
Yeah.
And Gil was basically like, "Look, what if it came out that a player today, look at how you criticize players today when they say that they would welcome a team up." And he's basically saying, look at how y'all cover the game. Y'all would tear these players apart if you catch wind that they would invite a trade for superstars to play with each other.
Yep.
Skip misunderstood the whole thing. He thought he took it as if Gil was saying Larry Bird was trash or something, and he's up there talking about Larry Bird good games and stats, and he's like, Larry Bird did this in the playoffs, and it's just like, what? No, like 99% of his response had nothing to do with the goddamn conversation.
He did that shit on Undisputed, Lamont.
This shit was horrible, bro.
Yeah,
this ain't for Skip, man. This shit is not for Skip. Man.
You see his views trash.
He did this shit on Undisputed though.
You might as well give him to pull up on your pod. Look, you might.
Skip? No, Skip ain't pulling up because Skip
Skip would piss his pants or his diaper, whatever he wear.
I'm telling you,
doing like I did Dreamers Pro, man.
Oh my gosh, I'm telling y'all,
I'm a slow roaster.
The Skip Baylesses, the Rob Parkers, don't nobody care about them. It's over with for them.
I do think the era of fat ass. I do think the era of sport commentary, like they style, is kind of getting outdated. Like I said, that hot take.
That's
hot takes.
SB, kinda.
That casual shit out the window today.
No, they don't. He don't have takes. His whole response to Gil, you can tell a producer wrote it up for him. He just reading it. Yep. None of it made no sense at all. It didn't make no sense.
Speaking of First Take,
he might have dementia, Lamont.
Speaking of First Take, when what's his name, Brian Windhorst, when he stated that nobody is going to be fully engaged in just a show or a podcast talking about X's and O's in basketball, and then all of a sudden, LeBron and Steve Nash are killing it right now. With just
It's
one
just
episode.
the problem is
That's terrible.
nobody wants to hear Brian Windhorst talk about the X's and O's.
Right.
Exactly.
They want to hear the players.
They want to hear what a player has to say. Like when, it is more interesting when the players talk about it. Like you can't deny that. The LeBron show, 5 hours, 200,000 views in 5 hours. Like people rocking with it. Like, so he can stop the nonsense. And I think
the problem is the players fall for the trap too now, too, Lamont. The Kendrick Perkins debating like Stephen A. Smith now.
Yeah.
Players down and players too now. It's players. Draymond Green.
I don't 100%.
He's terrible too.
I don't 100% put Kendrick. Like Kendrick says some things, but I think Kendrick with the criticism is being more non-biased as opposed to, so there's some people out there criticize and they just criticizing just to criticize. Sometimes Kendrick Perkins, he is a little right about LeBron sometimes with some of the stuff.
Yes.
It's a little truth to it, and I can respect it, and I can see how Brown fans would not like it, but I can't put Kendrick in that boat yet.
Hold him up. Did you hear what he said about LeBron going on a Pat McAfee show and all this and all that?
Now that I didn't rock with. That shit was dumb.
Bringing his race into it. What?
But this is how you know Bron won. When you can't address anything he said and you talk about, well, you should have said all that on a black person show. Well, shit, does it change the fact that I was right or wrong?
But
exactly.
Hold on. No, that wasn't even his original. That wasn't his thought. He got that from somebody else that said that like a day or two before him. And I feel like he watched that podcast and he just regurgitated what the man said because he ain't had nothing to say. You know what I mean? Like,
that's a dumb point though. Like,
I like.
How does it change anything if he go do it on another person?
It don't change nothing.
Right.
You could have gave another goose some shine. Well, hold on. First of all, he telling Brian, you should have gave another NBA player some shine. If you're gonna say anybody shit, give one of us and do this shit over here.
Right.
Give us some shine. This would have been Kendrick opportunity to shout out one of the smaller YouTubers on YouTube. Shit, you could have done it on Ticket TV. You could have done it on FYF. He ain't shout nobody out. He just talk about other. Who gives a damn if another NBA player is gonna be okay on YouTube?
Right.
So he did the same shit.
Right, that's the crazy part. And then he said that on ESPN. Then he went in on it when he was on Richard Jefferson and Channing Frye.
Yeah, they checked his ass.
They checked him.
They checked him. And I'm like, what are you talking about, bro? Like, he was in his ass. Like, what are you talking about?
And that's because the NBA players know we good. We don't need Brian to get look at Jeff Teague and them. They shit blew up just because they got NBA clout. Right. Gil and them motherfuckers entertaining and the NBA clout combined, they shit then took off. They don't need no boost from LeBron. Like at the end of the day, all these NBA players got enough clout that they shit just gonna pop off anyway. Baron Davis, his shit popping off. He about to go crazy. He signed a new deal. So at the end of the day, Brian see this. And I heard Brian help jump off of Mon Shumpert in them podcasts.
Right. Mm-hmm. They said he got a podcast platform where he invests into podcasts where people like he got a platform and NBA players is coming on there and starting a show. So what was Kendrick Perkins talking about? Like, what are you talking about, bro? Like,
no,
that's what it was. They don't like Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee, that motherfucker he controlled everything. He can cuss on his show. He get more money than everybody.
F-bomb and all that shit.
That motherfucker got too much, and he don't give a damn if they drop him.
Yeah,
he got all the power.
They call him and add him to ESPN. He didn't call them.
And he doesn't like Stephen A. And
LeBron did it to slight Stephen A. He said, I'm gonna come in your backyard at ESPN and on the dude's show that you don't like.
The ops. He went to the ops. He went to the ops and cooked your ass.
Aired him out in front of the world. And you don't have to worry. And one thing Pat McAfee I gotta rock with is he ain't gonna question your fatherhood. He might get on you about basketball shit. He ain't gonna question your that's where I feel Stephen A. crossed the line. You pretending as if Brian is mad about critique, which Stephen A. the reason why we know he's lying about this Bronny critique thing is that at the time he did that impassioned, that fake rant about Bronny James was already cooking in the G League. He had
Right.
already had
Yep.
multiple
Yep.
30-point games.
Yep.
He had already been destroying it. I think at that time of that rant, one of the reasons why they called him up and even let him play against Philly is because he had been playing so well in the G League.
That
So
30-point game. That 30-point game.
He had multiple. He had
I'm talking
multiple
about
by
the
that
first
time.
one. The first one is when they brought him up.
But the first one was back in December when they played the Valley Suns. Then it was multiple after that, multiple games. He had the dunk when he boomed on Buddy, caught a body. So he had a nice little flow of games where the Lakers was like, okay, Philly down, we out a few guys. Okay, let's go ahead and bring you up, see what it looked like. And so that's where
he got
Stephen
cooked
A.
by
is wrong.
Maxey.
That's how we know Stephen A. don't even follow the games, like because Bronny had been doing well enough to get called up.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. And
But-
then Stephen A. lied about LeBron not being at Kobe's funeral.
I was
too.
just going to say that. He was sitting in the front row with a damn hoodie on.
Yeah.
Fool.
Well,
And honestly-
you know why? My bad, SB. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
This is
no,
what
no.
I mean. This is why I'm telling y'all. I think ESPN trying to let Stephen A. Smith crash and burn because
For what?
listen to what happened. Listen to how this happened. When Stephen A. said that lie online,
Mhm.
when he came back and corrected it, Stephen A. said, all my phone was blowing up. People was telling me he was there. How come the producers wasn't in your ear telling you that?
Right. Right.
Because I promise you, the producers, them motherfuckers know everything.
They don't
I ain't
like
say
him.
it wrong.
They don't like
And
him
the
and Shannon
fact-
Sharp.
The fact that the producers just is sitting there letting you rock with it, and your buddies had to text you in the middle of the show for you to correct it, that tells me an ESPN trying to let you crash and burn.
Mhm.
That's a good point. I never
Lamar,
thought-
it's a video of elite audio. One of the producers talking bad about.
I played it
Stephen A.
on the show.
Yeah,
I dropped
yep.
it.
Mm.
The producers, that's why I say people
What-
in his own backyard ain't even
what
rocking with him.
Hey.
Oh yeah, I
Um,
remember that. What is the SB? Is that the one where somebody said he's the angry black man?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Yep. I know exactly what you're talking
But I
about.
do think like if we gonna have the realm of where, and I feel because I'm on the media side, and one thing they would taught me was like you got to make sure you know what you're talking about in your credits because you got to. That's a very important. Your credibility means everything. Like just as much as the mainstream people get on to criticize players for playing bad, I think we should do the opposite thing for the media. When you're not 100% talking facts and saying crazy things like that, he should be held accountable.
Right.
They
I
should
agree
go
with
right
that.
in and go crazy. Like how somebody shot 0 for 10 from the field. You need to treat it like that when you go up there and say some bullshit.
Well,
No,
Stephen A. is so weird because like he'll be like the weird thing about me is he was like, I could have talked about you not being at Kobe's funeral,
Yeah.
but it's like that's
Hey,
you talking
wow.
about it.
Hey.
Yeah,
He
Yeah,
said,
that's
I
wild.
Right.
I could have talked about you not going to D-Wade
And then
retirement.
you talked about it.
That's you talking about it. And
Right.
then the funniest thing about the clip is that on YouTube, they had a segment on First Take titled LeBron lied, right? But Stephen A is on the show. If you go out through his history, and somebody clipped it all, his last 20-year history, Stephen A is literally telling the world for the last 20 years. I ain't got no problem with LeBron James. I love
Right.
LeBron James.
Great
Somebody
father,
clipped
great
up,
businessman.
somebody clipped up like 70 times Stephen A. Smith. I love LeBron James. I ain't got no problem with him. Then all of a sudden, when you have a little clash with him, first thing you say is, I never
All that
liked
shit
you.
changed.
I
Yep.
never liked you. We never liked you. And it's just like, hold on. So
Because of his
you've
passive
been lying to
aggressiveness.
so basically you've been lying to us all this time.
Right.
You've been pretending for 20
Yeah.
years that you like him. You've been telling us you liked him. Then all of a sudden he ruffles your feathers. And now you never liked him. So
Right.
you've been the phoniest out of this whole ordeal.
Yep.
And
Well,
you know, I think he felt like that, Lamont.
because he has no access to him, Spiffy.
Yeah, LeBron never
Nick
gave,
Wright. Yeah, Nick Wright said it best.
he
Yep.
never gave him the time of day. Like he never sat with him and gave him his thoughts. Like, no,
No, Brian did. Brian did do a sit-down interview with Stephen A.
It was years ago, but yeah.
Yeah, but check this out. Did y'all see when Stephen A asked him, he said, what do you want out of this career? Brian said, man, all I want to do. This is back in 09, remember? He said, man, all I want. He said, I just want to protect my kids.
This the decision and decision.
But he did it.
Which is the funniest thing because
Yeah.
he sat down in your face and the only interview you had with him and told him the most important thing to me is not basketball. It ain't none of the, I want to protect my kids.
And then 15 years later, what happened?
And did
Right.
so the thing is, Stephen A knew how to get up under LeBron's skin this whole time.
Oh, so
And
you
when
think this was planned?
So when he needed to throw the trump card to jumpstart some bullshit, well, I know how to get at him. I know how to poke the bear. And then he tried to play victim after poking the bear.
Yeah, then he go on what, like 4 or 5 different podcasts talking about what LeBron did or didn't do and all this stuff. It's just, come on, man.
So Lamar, you think Stephen A. saying this stuff about Bronny and Dad and LeBron being the father figure was playing?
I believe, yeah, because if you look at that video that I even played it when he did that impassioned plea, it looks like he's acting. He's holding his hand in his face. Bron, please stop this.
He sounds just like it.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. It's just like he ain't sending them to war in Russia. Like, he ain't sending Bronny to go fight for Ukraine or nothing like that. He just said go hoop. Shit. What you mean, please stop this?
Yeah.
He just told
As
Bronny
a
go
father.
And what I said on my other show, y'all, was, and some of y'all heard this. Stephen A. is the one that runs around talking about the rough and tough 90s and how hard things are.
Bullshit.
But Bron put Bronny through a few growing pains of hooping in the NBA, and all of a sudden you want him. You should have stayed at college. Do it the soft little kid way. Treat him with kid gloves. It's just like, bro, y'all don't know what the hell y'all
bullshit. Like I said.
Right.
Oh man, hey, it's funny you say that because when that clip was what you talking about, people clip when JJ Redick treated him, God rest his soul, has nothing to do with Kobe, but he was like, nobody feared LeBron like they feared Jordan and Kobe. It was a tough era. Then he was like, JJ Redick, like Kobe got pieced up by Chris Childs, and then Jordan got treated by a ragdoll by Detroit. That ain't never happened to LeBron. And then Stephen A. was just, no, I ain't saying this. Like, no, bro, this is what you said.
Oh yeah. So nobody fears LeBron. No, I'm not saying that from a basketball standpoint.
So what you talking about?
Right.
Trying to stir up some stinking narrative, and then JJ Redick said, "Nigga, I played 15 years against the nigga. Now what?"
Did y'all hear what Draymond Green said yesterday on his podcast with Baron Davis? So he basically talked about how, different eras want us to respect their eras, but they don't respect our era.
Yep.
Fuck that. I mean, at the end of the day, I think Bron just opened the door for everybody. Basically said, "Fuck them, shit. If they ain't gonna respect it, we just gonna start cooking their ass,
Lamar,
just like we've been doing on YouTube."
I got a question.
Fuck it, cook their ass.
I got a question for Lamont and Lee and SB and Spiff. Now, I don't get this. How the fuck is it okay for older niggas to be like, man, you see here all the time, this guy, David Ray, and SB, you hear it on PC all the time. Oh, David Robinson averaged 40, Jordan averaged 50. Hakeem Olajuwon, he'll lock up Jokic and all this stuff. But there's the minute we say, oh, Giannis, he'll drop 40 in the 80s or the 70s. That's disrespectful. That's disrespectful. The fuck? The double standards?
I call it two things: ageism bias and nostalgia.
And double standards.
That too. So it's like, bro, we get it. You have a bias for your era. But which is fine. But
you can't get mad when we do it to y'all.
Every decade and every era gets better. Like, you cannot tell me 6'7" Julius Erving is gonna have his way with the 7'1" Giannis Antetokounmpo. It's not happening.
No,
it's not happening, bro.
No,
it's okay.
It's very contradictory because I done heard people say before Jordan averaged 50 in this era, but it's not disrespecting this era. But he's just, when LeBron said Giannis go average 200, it's literally the same thing. And also I said that I found the look at that LeBron. Y'all look at that quote.
Bro,
I was looking
not disrespectful. I'm gonna do a live show. I don't know what this week. I found the 1977 NBA All-Star game.
No, Lamont, please.
I'm gonna give y'all a little snippet of what I saw. And I'm talking about, I don't know how. Check this out. I don't know how I just selected the right time because I don't know how I selected. I just click on any spot in the game, and I got a timestamp for it. First possession come down. Dude airballs a layup. Takes it down the other way. Dude turns it over. Takes it down the other way. Misses another layup. It was about 17 possessions in a row of just complete fourth grade basketball. Missing layups, air ball. It might have been like 6 air balls. This is an all-star game. 6 air balls, like 2 fouls, like 9 missed layups. And I'm talking about in a very short span. I'm talking about very short span. And I'm talking about there's no defense in play. The guys just flying up and down the court. Missing layups. It was horrible. Because remember, Chris Russo was on there with Stephen A. Smith talking about, remember these guys from the 70s? I watched. Bro, I went back and watched. That shit got to be the sorriest basketball I've ever seen. I'm talking about, and the names you hear, like the names you hear with the guys missing layups, I'm like, damn, they told me he can hoop. Air ball layup. Other dude, damn, he can hoop. Air ball jump shot. I'm talking about nonstop back and forth like Shaq and the Fool. Like it was enough. It was probably enough in like the 4 minutes I watched for a whole Shaq and the Fool episode. It was horrible. This is the All-Star game.
That reminds me of that video you posted of Bob.
Dude jumped for a dunk and missed the rim.
What? Lamont.
Dude went to dunk and missed the whole rim. I'm talking about. Oh man,
hey, Lamont, that reminds me of that video you posted of Bob McAdoo and Pistol Pete Maravich playing horse, and you said Bob McAdoo is banned from ever being in the top 10 in basketball history.
Bob McAdoo was trash, bro. He is trash.
Oh, come on, Lamont. We got to put respect on Bob McAdoo.
No. I'm talking about if Bob, for example, as good as bad Bob McAdoo might have been, based on what I saw, I would have dropped him off and playing 1v1. I would have dropped Bob McAdoo off.
Now you got the
70s Kevin Durant,
70s Lamont. No, you ain't got no chance, man. The 70s, you ain't hooping like
Bob. That. I'm bro. I would feel
you can't get the advancement. You got to play for like you in the 70s, man. You got
I
don't. I get my advancement. Hell no, I'm getting my.
You can't ever bash Lamont. You can't ever bash Lamont.
No, I'm not ranking him. I never ranked him anywhere. But I'm saying, based on what I saw in that game of horse, when him missing layups, all he had to do was make a reverse layup. No, bro, it's over with, bro.
Like you said, you're doing a reaction to the Skip Bayless. Make sure you.
I'm gonna do a reaction to Skip, and I'm gonna do a reaction. I won't shout it, like, cause y'all gonna think I was clipping it. So I'm gonna just do a live stream where I play the full game. I'm not gonna mess with it. I'm just gonna be live, reacting to the game live. That way, y'all see it in full, exactly what I saw.
That shit gonna be funny.
Another thing I was talking about Skip Bayless. Another thing he said. Now this is what I was talking about. He talking about LeBron. He pretty much cosplaying as an NBA player. Talking about he's celebrating Halloween as being a Laker player.
Look, I could play a little snippet of it for y'all. Hold on, let me see if I can find.
Is that the one you finna do with Skip? Is that quote? Is that the quote you're talking about? Because he was wilding for that. I said, bro. He said, Bronny dressing up as an NBA player like Halloween. I'm like, yeah. He want LeBron to confront him too. He a little jealous.
Who you talking about?
Was that
Skip
real?
Bayless?
Skip don't go nowhere though. SB. Skip don't go nowhere.
Nah, he ain't gonna go nowhere. He needed. While LeBron looked for the exact quote is Skip Bayless said, LeBron said on his show, it's my job to not only protect my damn household, but to protect the player. What? Question mark. Is your son an NBA player or is he not? Are you saying this is just your son who gets to wear a Laker uniform and sit down at the end of the bench because he's your son? Is it like that every night's Halloween? He gets to dress up and play NBA player.
See, that shit is only impressive to Facebook at basketball fans. That's 40 plus.
He kept going too. He said, if that's what you saying, I don't think so. Look, if you truly believe Bronny's an NBA player worthy wearing a uniform on a nightly basis, then he's obviously fair game to anyone in the media to critique him. He said he cosplaying as a basketball player is crazy to me.
Yeah, that's crazy.
No, this ain't no April Fools. This is first of all, it's very believable. This NBA is on Dunk Central, and it's crazy that this sounds like something Skip Bayless would say though.
He just wants LeBron to acknowledge him so bad. It's not gonna happen.
If you don't show up to the games, why are you typing? I don't. Have we ever seen Skip Bayless at a game, at an NBA game?
No.
I don't know. I'm definitely looking to see if it's April Fools, but it don't look like it.
Yeah, hopefully it's April Fools. Hopefully it's not real, because if it is, that's probably one of the dumbest things I've ever heard in my life. But Lamont, play that snippet, please.
At least
I'm
Stephen
trying
A.
to find it. I gotta look through my history. I gotta find it.
You said it was 1977.
It was like one of them. It was one. Yeah, I'm 100. I'm almost positive it was 1977. I just gotta find it real quick.
Bruh.
What y'all think I'm joking too? Y'all really think I'm joking?
Hey,
Watch.
no Bob McAdoo slander around here.
Bro, he was a bum, man.
Respect on Dave Bean.
They gotta stop gassing them errors, them old errors. They gotta stop gassing them errors. Like, just let the game be the game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like Spiffy, that dude really said Giannis is not better than Julius Erving. Really?
Yeah, they
Who said that?
gotta stop it. They gotta stop it.
Who said that? Lee?
What's his name?
Mad
Chris
Dog.
Russo, Mad Dog.
Nigga
Normally
that
I
said
don't
Bob
call.
Cousy was great. Get that
Normally,
nigga out of here, man.
normally I don't call people out of their names, but he's an idiot.
He is an idiot.
He really is an idiot.
This dude said Magic and Bird is better than LeBron. What else he said? Bob Cousy
was better than Chris Paul.
Man,
that was ridiculous.
He always be capping for the old era of players. Though. He
yeah,
always be
that's
capping.
true.
He stay capping. Every time they got a list of the greatest,
Kevin
this and
McHale
that.
better than Shaq. Then he
always bring up some old
He be
shit.
like 1978.
Yeah, he killed me with that. I hate that shit. Like,
right.
bro.
He said Lamont's gonna love this. He said Moses Malone was better than Shaq too.
Yeah, he said that bullshit too.
That was probably the worst take I ever heard.
He should have been fired off of ESPN for saying that dumb shit.
No, you forgot Skip Bayless saying that Lonzo could be the best point guard in the game. That is something.
Yeah, Skip Bayless was trying to clout chase off a good name player for a while.
I remember
Manziel, Lonzo Ball.
Yeah, like I remember years ago, Skip Bayless said, "Well,
Jimmer Fredette."
He was like he said David Robinson is like the fourth best Spur of all time. Like what?
Damn, fourth?
Yeah, he said like fourth or fifth. I was like, outside of Tim Duncan, who's better than David Robinson as a Spur?
It was silence for a reason. You got that little bit of silence for a reason.
Yeah,
it's just terrible, bro.
Fourth or fifth? What?
It's somewhere on YouTube. I'm gonna find it. But
I think I found it.
See, that's why I don't watch ESPN no more at all.
That was on Undisputed, which makes
FS1, none of that shit. None of them analysts with suits on. I don't watch none of them niggas.
Yeah,
and they don't respect the international players too. I don't like shit like that. I understand it's a business thing. You're not gonna get as much views if you talk about Jokic and Giannis and them, but come on. I don't want to hear about LeBron and Steph Curry and Kevin Durant every day.
Now the problem is that like first they like talk about a lot of stuff, but they only clip up and push the narrative-based stories. That's the problem.
Yeah.
So he can sit back and be like, "We do talk about everything. It's a 2-hour show, but the main thing y'all pushed is the BS stuff.
The same shit. No basketball being taught,
and it's the same shit every show. Like you
Every
can watch
show.
one
every show,
and then the next show they talk about the same topic. Then the next show they talk about the same topic. It's like,
hey, Spiffy, it's LeBron, the Lakers, anything affiliated with LeBron, the Lakers again, the Cowboys,
Jordan,
reacted to what somebody else said,
Jordan,
Michael Jordan, and then back to LeBron.
Yep.
And then we're gonna talk about SGA for like 10 seconds.
10 seconds, right.
They definitely
That's
said Bronny has got more coverage this year than SGA. SGA having an MVP season.
and it's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy.
That's ridiculous.
That's crazy.
Who
That's
said
because,
that? Who said that?
I forgot if I can find it again, but yeah, they literally said Bronny has been covered more than SGA, but like a lot of the major platforms.
Of course he has.
I could believe
Giannis, Jokic too.
I could believe
I forgot one, SB. Whenever Lamar Jackson and the Ravens lose.
Oh yeah. Lamar Jackson.
But when he beats Josh Allen, crickets.
They don't say nothing about him. Only when they lose.
It's so annoying. And Spiff, aren't you in the Baltimore area?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you know it, bro. I know this. We're not talking about football, but even though I support the Browns, shut up, SB. I really want Lamar Jackson, the Ravens, to win the Super Bowl.
I want him to win. Yes.
I want him to win the Super Bowl so
He
bad.
from Florida. I'm from Florida too. Yeah, I want
Yeah,
him.
he gonna get one. He gonna get one.
I don't care if he never gets another one. Just one.
Just one.
Yeah, he gonna get one. He gonna get one.
They robbed him of that MVP though.
Yeah, I don't know what they was. This man led all the statistic categories, and they gave it to Josh Allen.
Bro. That's never happened in history.
Yeah, that was crazy.
He was first team All Pro, and they gave it to a guy who was second or third team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're right, Khalil. That's who said it. Lamont Michael Wilbon said it. That's who said it. He literally came at on ESPN. You know, he on ESPN.
Yeah. The problem with me having them saying it is like, especially people in the media. I'm like, y'all know y'all can just change the narrative by just talking about other shit.
Right.
Like when y'all complain about these guys getting talked about, then talk about some other shit then.
They know they ain't nobody gonna watch it.
Yeah, they be talking about it. They it's just like if Gilchrist Alexander's that interesting, then go do a show on it.
Exactly. That's why I like Tim Legler. Because he just breaks down the X's and O's, and it's not personal. He just gives people credit.
Yeah, I'd rather watch Gil. I'd rather watch Gil and them podcasts than ESPN and all that.
Oh yeah, because
I like to talk about both. I mean, you know, it comes with it, especially with basketball. So you know, I like to talk about posts, but just keep it sports, and then just make sure your facts right. That's it.
Yes.
Just keep it sports.
Right.
If the drama a part of sports, that's cool.
This and PC over any of that TV shit.
You listen to Players' Choice? I can't, bro. I can't listen to Players' Choice.
What they do?
They troll.
What they do,
bro. I forget who. I don't know if this person was a guest or a regular, but it was like 3 years ago. Somebody said Jason Kidd was the black Ricky Rubio, and I've not watched him since.
Oh my god!
That somebody actually said that on a show.
Bro,
I don't know who said it. I've not watched it since.
Mars and Chill are the only ones I listen to on that show. That's it.
Oh, well, Lamont, you might be cooked, and I said Magic Johnson to beat Josh Giddey today. So my
what
bad,
you mean?
Lamont. But I said, well, Magic Johnson beat today Josh Giddey. I said you might be cooked there, man. I said that on
Hey Lee, I know SB and Lamont knows. You know Ox, the big dude, the dreadlocks on there on PC.
I've only heard him once, and ironically, it was on Lamont's show, and he tried to tell Gil about footwork pertaining to Hakeem Olajuwon. I've not heard
that was funny as hell.
That was hilarious.
Bro, that's one of the youngest. He's one of the youngest old heads I've ever.
I like him, but that was hilarious.
He's one of the youngest old heads I've ever known.
I hate that.
Tyson was up here doing that too.
Yeah, Tyson was good. Yep, Tyson was too.
You'd be like, man, y'all know this motherfucker hoop.
Yeah, I hate that. I hate that when somebody try to disrespect a pro and try to tell them that you know more than the game than them. Like what?
It's like Gil was a professional hooper. You are an amateur watcher.
Yeah, he got 100 million. He got 100 mil for a reason.
You're an amateur watcher.
Ox hoop.
That's what it is, Lamar.
Ox used to hoop too, but not like NBA like Gil.
Yeah, it's like it's like Lamar.
Nah, I don't care where Ox hoop. Ox hoop somewhere in Mexico somewhere. That shit ain't not comparable, bro. Stop that.
But like
a Mexican stint, man. Stop.
Like Lamar and I wasn't on the panel.
I tried to give him a little credit, Lamar. I tried to give him a little credit.
Now, hold on, look, I found it because I gotta get off here, right? So I found it. I'm gonna put this video up. When I played this, I just clicked at this one spot, and this is what I saw.
Oh no.
I'm gonna go back. So I might go back a little bit before. So now I want y'all to tell me. It only gets worse the longer you watch it.
Oh no.
Hold on, let me share my screen.
I know I'm gonna laugh.
The worst thing the old heads did was when they were talking trash. Just go back and watch. You'll see the difference.
Hold on. Well, I want y'all to watch this, y'all. Hold on. Can y'all see it? Now let me make it full screen.
Yeah, full
screen.
Yeah, please.
Hold on, full screen. That's the biggest it get.
Yeah, that's probably because it's vertical.
Yeah, on the vertical light, that's the biggest it get.
No, okay, it's good. It's good.
Hold on, I'm gonna play it though. Y'all can see enough of it though.
Yeah.
Foul on it. Gale now 2 personal fouls, and we are at 10 minutes to go in the first quarter. The East leading 8-6 is Walt Frazier. Feeds it back to John Havlicek, who has not taken a shot yet. Great pass to Curry.
Oh
The layup. Smoke the layup. Watch. Watch.
Handled it clean. Here's Jerry West against Lou Hudson and Bob Love.
Air ball.
What?
This is the All-Star game. Hold on. Watch. It get work. Keep going. Watch.
Billy C. Into Havlicek.
Smoke.
Havlicek. Hey,
Watch.
never go.
Here's the lead.
No way.
Stole. Still. Oh, shit.
It off for the
Watch. It's still going.
in the first quarter. And you're watching on ABC. Walt
What the
Frazier.
fuck was that?
Wait. Other way.
Jerry West deep for the rebound.
Jerry West, show
No
me something.
defense.
Say these boys, Jerry West.
Jerry
Smoke. Air ball layup. Hold on. Maybe we get a bucket. Hold on.
Oh man, come on. Oh, we got one.
Smoke.
great pass.
Hey, that got blocked. Lamont, that got blocked.
Nah, that's smoke, bro. Oh, man.
Jerry West, say them. Come on, man, get a bucket, Jerry.
Bob Love.
Okay, Bob
let me
Love,
get a bucket, man.
Chicago legend. Right
Bob
there,
Malone, man. Whoever the hell that is.
Bob
man.
Love, man. Don't disrespect
Oh,
the Love.
Another bum, man.
Somebody said in the chat, third grade basketball. That's messed up.
Some of the players.
Now, this is the All-Stars.
But this All-Star game was better than the one this year. Let them
Look,
tell
up
it.
court, no defense. Maybe we get a bucket in transition. Dribbling with one hand. He ain't switched their hands yet. Air ball.
Air ball.
Miss layup.
Miss layup.
I think Cunningham picked it.
Oh my God, you finna have a field day with this. Boy.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Turnover.
Cunningham. Here comes the East.
Hold on. Can we get a finish?
Score is tied at 8-8 as Walt Frazier.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
man, that was money. That was
Okay.
money right there.
Oh,
Yeah.
seal.
Whoa, the score is 8-10. What quarter we in? You said you got this from the middle of the game.
No, this is the beginning. Like, this is where I clicked in the video.
Oh, okay.
West has had 4 turnovers as Havlicek shoots out of the
Blank.
corner and won't
That's
get it.
Havlicek.
Jerry
man.
West tapping to the rebound, goes to Spencer Haywood.
They almost turned the ball over
They
there.
switch hands with the dribble yet. He only dribbled with one hand this whole time.
There you go. Ooh, you see that cross?
Oh my god.
Hey, somebody got up and walked
Travel.
away, boy. Somebody got up and walked away.
It's so trash. It's trash.
And this is what Chris Russo was telling us we need to watch. This is what he was saying. Giannis couldn't score it.
And he was digging in his wedgie too.
This
Come
dude
on,
right
bro.
here is supposed to stop Giannis. This is what he said.
They're going to let it be a real tough ball game for themselves.
Yeah, Lamont, let King Rowe tell it.
Boink.
Okay.
No defense. Fling it up the court. Blank, air ball. Trash, man.
Hey, look what the defense at. Like they said, that's crazy. It still look more
This is
competitive.
the All-Star game.
Somebody said Pete Jamal Crawford be a multi-time MVP in this.
Hell yeah.
That's an All-Star game.
Drop Cameron Payne in this area. He gonna
I
look
told
cold.
y'all, but look, I'm gonna be doing a live about that.
This
I
nigga
told
said
y'all.
Cameron Payne.
Yeah. Cannon like a motherfucker, man.
This motherfucker said Cameron Payne. I am done.
So look, man. Hey, that's what Chris Russo and them told us to go watch. That's what. Yeah. Now imagine Giannis in them type of
Oh
transitions.
my gosh.
He won't play the same though, but if we take him as is,
Oh, I'm saying if we drop Giannis in a time machine right now into that game, he could drop 200 in that game.
Oh,
Facts. Facts. Facts.
now they're gonna think he a wizard, boy. They're gonna get rid of him.
hey, Lamont, put prime LeBron in that.
Oh, that ain't even fair.
300.
But the worst thing
By the
the old
third
heads
quarter.
did was say, like, when they was trashing this era, like, yeah, just go back and watch. And that was the worst thing they did because they didn't think this era was gonna
watch. And that's popped up on accident. I wasn't even looking for this. And I was like, fuck, it's 1970. Let me click it.
What Curry gonna do?
Bro, man, that shit is horrible, man.
What Steph Curry gonna do?
They gonna call what's the name on them? Carrying and double or something. You can't Euro.
Look at Adrian Knight. At least they was competing hard. Them motherfuckers was running cross country. That's what they was doing. That's what we call running cross country. You just running up and down the floor for no
Adrian
reason.
Knight, you took a L with that one, buddy.
They was competitive.
Them dudes was jogging.
Got a chance.
Them dudes was jogging.
Man, no defense, airballing layups, airballing jumpers, man. Just fouling and running up and down the court fast for no reason.
One of y'all, where y'all got Jerry West at again? All time? No, I'm playing.
You don't even want to ask me that.
But look, yeah, I got to shut this one down. I got to get out of here, man. I appreciate it.
All right, Lamont.
We had a nice little turnout over on the other channel, FYF Clips. But SB, I'm gonna hit you up. I'm gonna see what you was talking about. We're gonna see if we can get something locked in.
Oh yeah. I think it's especially.
I 100% want to get that going because y'all be killing it on the football. And if I can get that consistent, man, and then if I can start doing my blogs to push it on the back end.
Oh yeah, because it's getting close around that time. I know we was talking about it this go round, but it was like too late.
If I start doing blogs about it now, really building up the interest on Newsbreak, so when it shows at least it's gonna be a base of people on Newsbreak that want it. I think it'll be solid. But yeah, 100%. Just let me know when y'all ready to take off, man. And
okay, yep. Say less. We'll make it happen. We said we need the 8-hour stream, Lamont. They want you to do a shift, Lamont.
No, hell no. Not today. Not today. Maybe Thursday, but definitely not today. You're getting too close to the Nationals, man. I gotta lock in, man. I gotta get in the basketball mode, man.
Oh yeah, I'm proud of you. Ain't Doc Rivers? You in there, Doc Rivers category? I seen the ring early. I made it say.
Oh yeah. Where's it at, man? Look, man.
Show the ring.
And it got a little weight to it.
Yes,
man.
sir.
Yeah. Why you ain't got it on, man?
Nah, you can't wear them.
Coach, you supposed to be out here wearing that, Coach.
And I saw the detail on it. The detail on it is what surprised me. That's what surprised me the most.
I'm gonna come on FYF like Stephen A. Now you gotta see if he can do it consistently and get it done, or he gonna be.
Well, shit, I got more. You gonna find out next week. Because man, bro, wow, man, we in a gauntlet, bro.
Congrats though, but we
should get it done. We should get it done, guys. We've been having some good practices, man.
Yeah, getting it in, man. Look how they talking in the chat. You need to recruit one of them on your team, man.
Oh, hell no, man. Hell no. It's just I had to do film study. I did film with my team the other day, but they was all mad at me.
He was going crazy.
Film study. Oh man.
Hey, we need the behind the scenes of Lamont film study. I want to see how Lamont cursing out his players. I need to see that.
I didn't cuss him out, but like to me, the way I was saying it, I didn't feel like it was that bad. But then afterwards, one of my managers was like, "Man, why you fucking kill him like that?" I'm like, "Damn, what I do?" Shit, so fuck. Maybe I went too hard on him, man, in the film study.
You right here, Dion. You see right here. You supposed to drop back cut. What you doing? You know we do.
Nah, but look, let me shut this down, man. I appreciate you. I'm gonna text you. I appreciate you pulling up, man. So,
yes, sir.
But I'm gonna definitely tap in with everybody up here. But look, y'all, FYF Sports, man. Another great podcast episode, man. Appreciate y'all pulling up, man. Hell of a show. Everybody was watching, man. I saw everybody over on FYF Clips, man. Appreciate y'all, and then everybody over here on FYF Sports, man. Like I say, man, make sure y'all tune in. We got Friday. Hey Johnny, Sunday, and Goat James Kingdom. They're gonna be cooking. I'll be back Thursday and Saturday. So make sure y'all stay tuned in. But look, it's FYF Sports, another good podcast episode. We're gonna be back with more sports and news. Until then, y'all, it's FYF Sports, and we out.